Yeah, I
I
am
admit
trying.
it.
No,
I'm
like
trying.
No.
It's really difficult.
Ken.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
heard
a process.
Ken did the exact
I
same thing I did a
corrected
couple of times.
myself.
Like I did the same thing. Like Ken would be like, "Oh yeah, she something," or I mean they,
I mean,
or he would go like she, and then immediately in his next sentence emphasize they.
they.
And
I'm like,
yeah, I did the exact same thing too. I would accidentally say she, and I was like, I gotta put emphasis on they or correct myself.
oh goodness, it was
Boy.
tough last night because as it started getting later and later, my mind was just like, "Fuck it."
I felt so high. It hit
I
11
know,
o'clock.
I
Like,
know,
like,
right?
oh my god.
When we started playing Valorant, that was just a fucking trip because I was playing Cypher and I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Oh my god.
I just didn't
That
know.
was.
It was weird.
Cypher's like, so what you gotta learn kinda is at the start of the round, when you throw your. I did it all the time too. When you accidentally press Q and you throw your uh,
Smoke.
smoke, yeah, thank you. You can pick it back up before the round starts.
Interesting.
When the round starts, you can no longer pick it back up.
Interesting.
And now what's cool is if you kind of learn the... I can't draw this for you, but... I mean, I could try. Look, free drawing.
Just open MS Paint.
No, I don't even... Why did it... What? I put chess. What? Free drawing. Sketchpad. This'll work. Wait, what is this? What the hell? Okay, whatever. Shut up. Watch, Ken.
Okay, hold on.
Join the millions switching to Spectrum Mobile and you could save up to 40%. Nationwide 5G is included with every plan, and there are no added taxes or fees, plus no
I hear your
I'm
music too, Pog.
I'm gonna try and do bind. Okay, so we got like this cubby here.
Uh-huh.
There's this wall here. And then this like container thing here. This box. And there's this box here with like
Cubby.
this wall, showers. Yeah. That's wrong, but ignore that. We're focusing here. Okay, so right here on this box, this how do I change colors on this? I don't want fill. Where are the colors?
Should be towards the... Oh.
Here we go. Oh, never mind. Maybe not. Oh wait, I'm retarded. There we go.
Yes.
That's so weird.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so right here. Ooh. I don't know what I'm doing. Right here on this corner, like, for any map that has spots like this, you know how the box is elevated?
Uh-huh.
You can throw your smoke right here on this corner. You can attempt to, like, bounce it off the wall or whatever to get it here. It'll go down kind of a one-way, but it's a good smoke, and it'll create this angle here. Because it'll block off to about here. And it'll go up. So, like, if it jets up there, and, you know.
Yeah.
Have you seen the smokes? It'll go up and down.
Yeah, up and down.
So... that's a good way to kind of use the smokes, try and create one way. So I never got good at it, but that's one way you got to do is like you can put the smokes upwards and they'll go down, and you also got to make sure you like when you throw it, it's not like it doesn't teleport like omens or brims. It doesn't go exactly where you mark. You have to arc it. It has a weird arc, so it doesn't go very far. So you remember like watching me play, you would see me like look up and then throw it.
Yeah.
That's because you have to go up to get the distance.
Yeah, like
because it arcs. Yeah.
Okay, I get that.
But yeah, I just wanted to show you like this kind of attempt to do one ways or whatever. Probably bad. It's good when you're on defender side. You know, you can one way here, kind of attempt it like you did with omens, because then you can watch from like down here, and you should be able to see feet of here, or you can see them here.
If we want to do the fight, how are we supposed to do that since our characters are level down?
It's gonna work the same.
We'll just level down his enemy.
Yeah, I can just level down the enemy. That's not really that big a deal.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can do it now if you guys...
well, I don't think
I'm doing laundry.
Yeah, he's doing laundry.
I don't think I can... I honestly don't want to do it today.
Yeah, not the
Man.
We could
Oh,
do.
okay. Well, we could do the other stuff.
Yeah, we could do
That's-
the other thing. The main
I'll
thing was
attempt the
just.
roleplay today, like, yeah. Or I'll at least listen. Because if I need to, I'll just join.
Such a big character.
Oh God.
If I need to, I'll just like join call on my phone and just listen while I go around my house.
That is true.
Damn.
What the fuck? Can I delete this screen? Yes, I can. I can delete the screen. It's simple.
That was a great drawing, Ken, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. It showed what it needed to show. That's my main thing. I like it. It worked. Like honestly, I wasn't really worried about the effort and just like the really jagged lines. Good God, if you could imagine like the walls being like that. Living in
Like, I
fucking
like
Mesa,
cannot
America.
draw with a mouse. It's so
No,
bad. You've seen
it
my
doesn't. Yeah,
sketches.
it doesn't work drawing with the mouse. I don't blame you. Honestly,
I
it's
can't even
okay.
draw with a pencil, but that's okay. It's better than a mouse, at least.
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh, also the big reason why I can't draw straight lines is because the way I hold my mouse, I don't hold it like straight, like
Oh yeah, yeah,
perpendicular or parallel to my table. I turn it so it's like a 45-degree angle.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool because a lot of actual
Yeah.
most professional players have their mouse sit like at a certain angle and have their arm at a certain angle.
Yeah,
So it's
my arm's at an angle, and then my mouse is at a further angle
yeah,
than my arm.
yeah, exactly. So like, it's
And then
fair.
I use my wrist so it starts like doing an arc.
Oh my
So I have to.
God,
It's so hard to do a straight line.
God, that's why your flicking is kind of awkward too. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because like it's just how I have to play. Because with my laptop, I don't have a keyboard, so I can't. I have to angle my computer at a 45-degree angle to comfortably use WASD.
Yeah.
I like have to have my arms like at outward arcs going back in to play.
Hold on, critical hits. I need to verify something.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put this laundry away, get water, and then hopefully not get yelled at while I sit in here.
Okay. Got you. I don't understand how critical hits work for that. Because I don't want a macro for critical hit. I just want... I don't... Why? It's so weird.
Macro. Oh yeah, I have to put all my pointed skills and stuff. I have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Intimidate is minus what? That's really dumb how intimidate is charisma. I don't get that. It should be strength. It should be.
It should not be strength because you can look menacing and just not have the actual physicality to back it up.
Still, like charisma.
It is based on
like
charisma
charisma
because...
implies. I know it's kind of dumb.
It makes sense. I mean, I get what you mean. It's just... It better
'Cause
works for...
You can be intimidating but not be charismatic.
Well, no. No, it's not saying that you're charismatic because charisma implies just your overall influence upon others, not just saying
Oh wow,
that you are a nice person.
that's a Nat.
What the fuck, man? Gosh dang it. We didn't even... Okay, whatever. How...
I like how his handle animals -1.
Yes.
Extra animal trainer -1.
I need to roll a crit on something. That way I can understand how it better works because... Like a weapon roll or something. I need to.
Right. Smithing, cooking.
Let me know if I get a crit on any one of these that I click.
Yep, you just got a crit.
Good God, I clicked on it once. I clicked on it once. One fucking time. Okay. So basically
ranks. What?
I need to understand how this works. Wait, I don't understand. Wait, so rolling 1d6 and then 1d6 again, I roll an 8. If I originally were to roll this, it would be rolling melee. Wait, I think I understand how it works. I think I do. Yeah, okay. So so I was not working on crit confirmation because honestly, I'm retarded. So first off, you have to confirm your critical hit. So if you roll a 20, right?
Yeah.
Basically what you have to do is roll again
Ah,
for no, it already does that, right?
yeah. And
So
it
like the
got a
top
crit.
two. So like you see the top two numbers? You see the
Yeah.
20? So that 20 is saying, "Oh, you rolled a crit. Now you have to roll again." And if that roll breaks the enemy's AC, then you deal the 8 damage.
Why?
Because it's a crit confirm. Basically, that's why I was saying whenever you would have like what was it? I don't think it was bestow luck. It was one of the luck spells that you got, or the luck feats, defiant luck, where you could, if someone rolls a critical against you, they have to re-roll their crit confirmation. Bruh, dude, we're wasting all the good rolls. God damn it! Roll the
Crit
0.
to 0.
Nice, 19
Crit
and then
0.
0 straight after. Okay, but yeah, so that's what I mean. So if they hit let's say if they roll a natural 20, right?
Mhm.
And they have to roll again for a crit confirm, which all that means is if they break the AC with that following d20 roll, then they deal critical damage, which is that 8 piercing. However, if they do not, they still deal 3 damage.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So like that is helpful for defiant luck. So let's say if that attack were against you, for example, that last 20, you would force them to re-roll that.
Be like, man, if they get 20 again? I'm just gonna be like, bro, I'm
Dude,
done.
yeah, yeah,
I'm sure that's gonna happen one day. I'm just be like, oh fuck you, re-roll that, and they
true.
get like a 20 again. I'm like, fuck my life.
Also, this also helps with others crit confirms too, because you have bestow luck, meaning you can give that +8 to someone's roll before they roll,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can help them out for netting those critical hits.
Yeah.
Now that I understand how critical hits
Oh
actually
wait,
work,
I can do that with everything, right?
yeah,
So I can be
any
like, hey,
d20
you
roll,
want to do that skill check? Like, oh, I can be
any
Arrow's
d20 roll,
wingman. I can be
anyone.
Arrow's wingman.
However, remember it's a +8 before the roll, but a +4 after the roll.
Okay, so you'll be like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna do, but still look on you.
Yes, yeah.
But I have a feeling people are just gonna do rolls. I'm like, I could have give you,
You
but
could
still
have
luck. You
given
could have.
you bestow luck.
They're like, oh,
But remember,
you give it to me now. I'm like, it'll only be +4, but sure.
yeah, exactly. You'll just have to verify to see if it is a roll after, then you can just see if the +4 is worth it, or if you think it'll
Hmm.
be more valuable to do a +8 at some other point. You just have to like hopefully roll good mods. But
Yeah, hopefully.
but again, you can only do that once a day, and it applies, you can do that for one party
I
member
think I'm
each
gonna
day, which is
next.
really nice.
back.
Yeah, yay.
Now, what I was doing before in second iteration, I didn't understand what that 20 meant. Because I thought that 20 meant the damage, but that was just the crit confirm on the right side. So I would have you guys deal 20 damage instead of that 8 points of damage, which you should have been dealing. Does that make sense? And how I'm retarded? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, sorta.
Okay. Sorry, Sean, I was just talking to Sparta about critical hits and critical hit confirmation. If you scroll up, you're going to see on Umbral
If I
Short Sword.
scroll up,
Oh, I'm retarded. Never mind. Hold on. Let me just take a snip and send it to you because I forgot you were not on your. God damn it! I forgot that you were not on Roll20.
no, I'm kidding. Let me go on Roll20 real quick.
Oh, I mean, I could just send a snip to you. I mean,
Sure, yeah, that works.
it makes it faster. Okay, so quick little thing. So we're only gonna really focus on the extra one, right? Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah. So that first roll is a crit, right? That's just saying you rolled a crit. That is a critical attack. Now, in order to confirm that crit, you need to break your enemy's AC, which, if you look on the right, you'll see critical confirm and see where that 20 is pointing. So let's just say if your opponent's AC is 17, right? You roll a normal number, and then you roll a crit with that d20 roll. Then you have to crit confirm. If that crit confirm is higher than that 17, then you see like at the bottom where it says the 3 and then the 8.
Yeah.
If the crit confirm is higher than their AC, you take the 8. If not, you take the 3. It would be like dealing a normal hit. Yeah,
What?
and what I was doing.
That's confusing.
It is confusing, yes, but it's like what I was doing before, which is completely incorrect, is I would take the critical confirm for damage, and you see the difference in 3 and 8 and then 20. Oh my god, I'm so retarded. Anyway,
You guys just want to do this thing real quick.
now there are certain roles, like with Arthas's Bestow Luck, which is very, very helpful to y'all.
Whoa.
He can give his feat, which basically to another party member once per day, which either increases their roll by 8 before the roll is made, or 4 after the roll is made. Which is really, really strong. You can do that once per day, which can really help in the needed circumstances. So that's why I say humans are really, really good at doing shit. But yeah, that's how critical confirms work. And I'm gonna start doing it that way from now on, because I realize that how much damage that actually translates to, especially at your level. A level 1 character dealing 20 points of damage is not okay. It's just unless they're like a rogue and they get a sneak crit, which definitely counts differently. Okay.
We don't have any rogues in the party, and I'm very glad.
You know who was playing a rogue?
Who?
Sammy's character.
Oh god.
It was cool though. It was really cool.
But still, rogues just have a very bad reputation.
They have a bad rep because people don't know how to play them properly.
Because people, oh, we'll steal for the party. It's like, bruh, I'll kick your ass.
She actually added damnation to one of her catchphrases.
Who did?
Julian to Era.
Oh no.
Damnation it. I love it so much. It's so fucking good. But anyway. Damnation it. Okay, let me go ahead and add the bot and we'll go ahead and get started.
Oh yeah.
Because it's gonna be just a lot of roleplay. It's pretty much all
I like that.
I know you do.
Yes.
I need to check my emails.
I don't have my sword,
Sean?
my pretty sword and shield anymore. God damn it!
You don't, but you'll probably
want it
get
back.
it.
Oh my god. 27 emails and then 16 more in a different email.
Sean, stop complaining. Stop complaining. Stop complaining. You know I have way more emails than that, so.
Well, that's your fault. That's because you don't check them for months at a time.
I really don't. There's no need to.
There is a need to. For me, at least.
What is the need?
You know what's funny now?
My Boy Scout
get all
shit.
those bad rolls.
Okay. Wait, what did you say, Sparta?
You know what's funny now? Seeing Forrest get all those bad rolls after everything she did.
There had to have been a reason.
That's why.
I could use. Okay, hold on. One. I'm asking you this. I'm asking this to you two. 1 or 2.
Shit. 1.
Sean.
1.3.
1 or 2.
Or
1. Two.
Shit.
I choose the clap. No, I'll go with 1.
Oh, okay.
No.
Got it. All right. Let me go ahead and use this. Going to here, going to here, going to here. Okay. So, obviously I'm recording now, so we're vibing.
Nice.
Fitness during pacer test is the multi-stage road.
We're gonna get copyright claimed again.
How do you get copyright claimed on a private video?
It's an unlisted video, but yeah, it's funny.
God,
Ken.
that's so stupid.
Yeah,
Ken,
yeah.
my headset disconnected.
That's on the counter again.
It's
Kendall's.
a 40.
I'm gonna send you something, Ken. I'm gonna take 2 pictures. One when it's working, one when it's not working.
Interesting. Okay, so after you two both descend into the tombs with the scuttle of the sandstone structures underneath your feet, you hop down, and as you begin to fall indefinitely, you just kind of start feeling more and more sleepy the further you go, the further away from light you go. It feels like you're descending into a warmth of the earth itself. And
You forgot the bot.
huh?
You forgot
I forgot the what?
the bot.
I'm doing this without it for a
Hog,
sec.
hog, hog.
And you continue descending, and after you feel yourself fall asleep, both you and Yvonne, you awaken to sounds first. Strange whispers. Also, what the fuck?
See how fucking slight that distance is?
Yeah, that is very minor. That is like a
Let me
very
send
minor
this Sparta.
distance. Sean, I'm gonna buy a USB for that. Because that's a yikes.
Oh, that you see that USB cord? Yeah, yeah. Like it doesn't go much farther.
Sean?
Fucking hell. Okay. The USB you can see is the fucking that's what lights up my headset.
Mm-hmm.
And like I have no USB on this side of the laptop, so I can't use it.
Oh, okay, I see. That's really dumb. Looks like a MacBook, honestly. But anyway,
I'll just put it in no context chat.
you awaken to whispers encircling you. You see them, you feel them go in different directions, circling around you almost like an inquisitor's taunt. You can feel their presence. It's more lucid than anything, and when you come to a sort of consciousness, in a stale state of consciousness, you gather the strength to open your eyes. When you look down, it feels like you're in just a very dark room that is lucidly lit with a very faint lavender color that is adorned by this veil of sorts on a figure in front of you. You can see that this figure stands at about a height of, I would want to say, 5'1". And you look up to her as you guys are completely prone at this current moment. You guys gather the strength to stand up. Yeah.
Yes.
At first, you kind of feel a little bit weakened at first, but you stand up. You look at the figure in front of you. Whoever it is, they have very long hair that extends down to their back. It appears like they're wearing a dark colored dress, but it just looks black in the absence of a large enough light. You look closer to the ground. It looks very ceremonial, but it just kind of fades into nothingness as the distance increases. Maybe you can see around 15 to 20 feet in radius around you as it just dissipates into black. But the harder you focus on the background and around you begin to analyze that you can start seeing stars just kind of plink and just shine one by one as it begins to surround you, almost as if you're in some sort of space or astral realm. Let me go ahead and do this now. There you go.
Huh. Not exactly what I picture, but okay.
As you both get to your feet, this figure holds their hands in front of them, kind of around their waist area. You can start seeing the more tightly fitted dress around their abdomen area. You can tell that they are looking down to you with both feet also pointing in that same direction. They stay silent. You can still hear the whispers around you, but she is the only figure, or which you would presume to be a she, is the only figure that is in front of you.
Arthas kind of gets up. He takes like a few steps back and sort of like he puts his hand near his mace just in case, but not on it. Who
Yeah.
are you?
She raises her right hand, which is covered by a very thin layer of satin.
Of what?
Satin, like satin cloth, like silk.
Ow. Ow.
Be not alarmed. Please. Relax. She looks to Ivan. Then looks to Arthas.
I'm sorry, I'm doing something.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Do not presume much. I am just here to assist you.
Didn't answer my question.
She turns away from you and starts to walk backwards, but as you see that she is the one who is holding the veil, it seems like the light source she begins walking starts to get more and more distant from you. So you start to feel the darkness start to surround you, the whispers are getting louder as she walks away. But then she stops after walking probably about 3 feet in the opposite direction. She looks over her shoulder, almost expecting something.
Arthas kind of just looks at Yvonne, just sort of like shrugs, like I don't know.
What are you actually supposed to do in this situation?
Arthas is just. So you want us to follow you then? Is that it?
She nods her head simplistically, holding her hands behind her back as she does so.
You still didn't answer my question.
All in due time.
Time for what exactly?
If you would follow. I could do less explaining with words and rather showing.
Arthas kind of looks at Yvonne again and just like gives him like, I don't know what the fuck.
Honestly, that's kind of fair. Sean, I know you're busy.
Yvonne,
Oh, there you
no, I was about to
go.
answer. Fuck you. Yvonne looks at Arthas and whoever the other person is, and he just gives a slight nod to both of them, and then looks back at Arthas. I guess we follow her. What choice have we got?
Not much. Let's go then.
The closer you begin to get to this lavender lighting, the quieter that the whispers start to get, almost as if she has some sort of presence in walking. You hear the sounds beneath your feet as they kind of make this very light clacking sound beneath your boots. You start taking notes of the or the runic sort of etchings in the ground itself, almost depicting a story of sorts. You begin to read along it. That of Pixena, as you remember, being the Maiden of Dimensions, who is actually, in another translation of the word dimensions, means chaos. And within chaos, she holds the ability to travel between set points in reality. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot to put it on repeat. Gosh dang it. I am so dumb. Yesterday was great. Anyway, you continue walking, and
I'm so tired from yesterday.
Yeah,
I got up at like 9:30.
Jesus Christ, God bless you. I woke up at probably about 9 as well, but I
woke up at like 7.
Sparta, how?
Why?
I don't know, dude. I feel fine. I rested my eyes afterwards, like till it was 9, though.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you have coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I should
Yeah,
actually.
I don't have coffee. I didn't even have breakfast.
I just had coffee. I didn't have breakfast.
That's not
because I hate like all we have are like frozen sausage patties that you just like heat up. Well, sorry, you have to,
Yeah.
cook them on the stove,
Yeah.
and I hate them. I hate sausage patties
Okay, that's
and
fair.
sausage links. I hate them.
I mean, to be fair, sausage links aren't the best unless you get like something that's not American sausage. If it's like it's
And
like
if
from
it's like, yeah.
Europe.
Like I
That's like
just
Vienna
can't
it's a
eat
sausage.
sausage
But-
by itself. The only sausage I eat is like Italian sausage, and that's because I enjoy it, and it's
Vienna
usually with something
sausage.
else, like a soup or something.
I got you.
Soup.
Now
soup
I
and
know.
sausage.
Now I know what to make you if I ever like make breakfast. Now I know what
Have
to
a mi-
also not make you as well.
Also, just give it some freaking bangers.
Literally,
That's
Ken.
the good stuff.
Literally, if you just make the sausage patties, but you give me a biscuit with it, I'll be fine. Like I'll put the patty in the biscuit and eat it.
Okay.
Like I just can't have it by itself.
itself.
But that's all we've got.
Oh,
Or
okay.
bread
So
with
if
a
you can make
tortilla with
something
it.
with it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's,
Well,
that's
You were
sweet.
saying, Kendall?
Oh, it's okay.
like biscuits and gravy, even like biscuits and gravy is
That's
great.
great.
Oh yeah, totally.
You
Though
could
most
just
Which
people
I
don't
can
like
make
it 'cause
myself.
it's too
I just
salty.
don't
I
have
like it.
milk. I don't have milk or biscuits.
Oh my god, dude! I actually need to learn how to make gravy again because my mom makes
It's
it all the
like
time.
flour and milk.
It's flour and milk, yeah. Flour, milk, and
Yeah.
salt.
Lots of salt from the sausages.
Yeah, exactly. You use this. You use the starches from the
Yeah.
sausage.
That's how we make it. We fry up the sausage. We put the sausage on a plate, and then we use the grease and whatever's left over. We just put flour and milk in that, and just like
I mean,
make
you
it
could
that
just
way.
cut the casing of the sausage and put that in.
Yeah, you could also do that too. Yeah, that also works.
That's what you usually do is you just get ground sausage.
I mean,
Well, that's if we make-
already
We
ground.
buy sausage patties, and so the reason I said it that way is because my father will make like sausage patties one morning, and like none of us will eat it but him, and then we'll beg him for like biscuits and sausage, and so he has to then cut up the sausage and add it.
I see.
So that's why he does it that way.
Yeah, I don't really like already ground sausage unless it's like ground beef, then that's fair. But if I get sausage, I want to be the one to like break it apart and cook it all the way through because I don't want to take the chance that let's say someone didn't do the process super well and then they packaged it and still I don't obviously raw meat. That's why I like things well done or medium well at the
Well
very-
done. Oh God, Kendall.
Dude, I do not want to die.
Kendall.
I do not want to contract salmonella, alright?
Kendall.
Here's
What you do. Here's what you do. Don't get a burger, anything. Even medium well, even for a burger, is gonna make it fucking dry. It's gonna
It
be dry
depends.
shit.
Not really.
Yes,
Not
it
really.
is.
No, because the thing is, that's why I said medium well is chilling. Because I'm used to
God.
medium well.
I like medium burgers.
Yeah, dude, you.
Medium.
Yeah,
I've had I've eaten medium burgers. They're pretty good.
they're good,
like,
yes, but
They're
like,
good.
It's just
But I
because
get what
medium
Ken
well is too
means.
dry for me. I'm just like, bleh.
I guess that's fair. Anyway, I mean, if depending on what you've grown up on, but I guess that's fair. Anyhow,
I like
depends on the
my steak
burger
with a bit
is.
of
If
blood
it's
on it.
like-
That's just me.
yeah.
If it's a big not wide but like a tall burger, it's pretty good medium rare. But if it's more like a flat burger, like
Medium rare
fast
burger?
foods, things like that, it's good well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they usually don't ask. They usually cook them like medium well to medium to well done. Usually for fast food places.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I meant because they're
Mhm,
flatter,
yeah,
and
'cause
so
yeah.
when you
They
like
cook
crisp
really
the
fast.
outside, it just they cook really fast. Whereas if you get the like taller burgers, that's when it's really good medium
Like
rare
the
because you get all the
restaurant
the
burgers.
juiciness and all that flavor inside it.
Yeah.
You can't do that with a flat burger.
There's absolutely no space. Like it's going to hit the outside and you just don't have much space to work with. You can't just have a thin layer cuz then it just won't really taste the difference. But anyway, so as this figure continues walking forward, you follow her for what seems to be about a good 30 seconds. You continue following the murals in front of you. You start to see Pixena's almost, I guess, murals start to collect these very small star-shaped objects as she's flying through this astral projection. And
Arthas kind of just. Oh yeah, go ahead.
no,
or-
you got you.
Arthas looks at her. So you're a pig Santa then.
No.
Arthas just sighs. This is gonna be a long day.
Not really. You won't really notice it. and I'd very seldom bet that you would remember this conversation. However, she then stops, turns back towards you. She kind of brings out a sort of gem in her hand that fits in the size of her palm as you hear this chain fall from it. Seems more like a necklace in which she dons it upon her, around her neck, and as it extends all the way to about her midsection, you are able to see it glint with a very red rubyish light, with the purple and red combining into this fluorescent pink. You're able to further see behind her veil, which you see this fair-colored face with blonde hair. Obviously, you cannot see the color of her eyes, but you can see that she's looking at you through her veil.
Is the necklace more religious looking, or is it just like magical?
From what you can tell, it is edging on the magical side.
Okay. Can I tell what kind of properties just by looking at this necklace may have?
Just by looking at it, you can tell that it has either just the property to emit light in very, very dark spaces, and or perhaps of its ability to reflect certain projections out of the ruby itself for any random purposes. She then looks at you and says, "Though my name is rather not important, I wouldn't want you to say anything about me yet, especially considering you do not know. Well," she looks at Arthas.
Arthur crosses his arms.
You might know about me. Do you remember these glowing golden trees as you've traveled in Scythia before? You would, your character would.
What about them?
Have you heard of the story of the girl behind the trees, in which you also have?
You're joking.
She then nods her head, simply. I am that girl.
That doesn't make sense.
Why can't it? Do you not hear the whispers around you?
I do, but I'm not sure if this place truly even exists. Who knows where the hell we even are?
Very good premonition. I enjoy that. But yes, to answer that question, you're more or less correct in it being a form of non-existence. I suppose you can treat it as an astral plane.
So did you create this place then?
No, it was more or less here when I also came. She looks to Ivan. I'm pretty...
I wasn't even listening.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Arthas.
Like I'd say your character would.
Yeah. Yeah, your character
just like,
would
what?
I don't know if you were there for some sessions, but I'll go ahead and do a light detail. Basically, the girl who started these trees, which are called Alice trees, with the glowing golden color. Hold on.
Meh.
The glowing golden color.
No, go ahead.
In their matured state, with their glowing golden color, and as if they're like in the younger state, being, looking like normal trees but emitting a red color, it is almost taboo to touch these trees because of the fact that a girl, when she was really young, when she was probably about 11 to 12 years old, had touched one of these trees and basically did not wake up. However, she did not perish, her body did not perish. It almost looks as if she was alive still. Perhaps, if she were breathing, but she obviously wasn't breathing. Her heartbeat wasn't there, no pulse was there, but her skin just looked alive as the day she went into this comatose state. And as you think about the description of said girl, it seems to match with the figure in front of you, with a few exceptions. With the exceptions being of the colors that she's wearing, and mayhap the reason that she's hiding her eyes. Also, her hair is a bit more full.
Well, she's older, obviously.
But this story,
so.
this story actually predates probably about 300 years ago.
Alright, you have most of my attention. I finished my emails.
Awesome. Most. I like how you say most, not all, just most.
You have. I'm being honest.
He's
You've
being
got
honest.
most.
I respect it. I respect it. Being honest from the start is great. But yeah. So you, Arthas, in saying that, this story predates 300 years.
Yeah. So the point where people think it's just a myth.
Yeah, it's just a myth, but it's still taboo to touch the Alice trees.
Yeah, but I think it's more superstition at this point.
Yeah. The only, to you, there have been people who have touched the Alice trees. Sometimes they woke up maybe a few seconds later. Sometimes they actually died and then didn't return.
Lovely.
And then there are just times where, similar to Alice, that they just kind of fell asleep and didn't wake up for probably a few wakes or a few years even.
So,
But at least
what are you doing?
Wow.
What did you say, Arthas?
So why are you hiding your eyes?
She lifts up her veil to reveal these sets of piercing orange eyes that seem to be circling with an inscription of some sort in the very fine details. Almost appears as if these very small texts almost are rotating continuously, almost like a clock, as she continues to stare at you. Her irises are very, very small. And had it not been for the lavender veil and any other illumination of the room, you would swear that you were looking at some sort of eldritch being of some kind.
So that's a nasty brand you got there.
Brand? No.
In a way.
I do not believe that this happened for no reason. But it is a secret that I must keep. As for the reason as to why it happened, and how, she then places her veil back in front of her face, hiding her eye color once again.
I couldn't read it.
In the small span of time that you were able to read, it seems like the script reads the horizon in both eyes.
What do the words exactly mean?
I have yet to figure that out myself.
Something about the horizon.
Yes.
Dumb as hell. What the hell? Even read.
She then says, "The god said that they would free me from this place if I were to figure out what this means. But I have yet to do so, and in the 300 some odd years that I have been here, I've never come closer. People come and people go, but yours is an exception. It seems as your entire beings are here. Could this mean..." No. That is just postulation.
What is?
She shakes her head, but then she says, "Something terrible happened."
You have no idea.
She looks up to you again, after kind of glancing down to her slippers that she has on. What do you mean?
Well, Arthas kind of like glances at Vaughn, not trying to put this.
She walks a bit closer to you, now keeping about 5 feet in proximity.
Let's just say there isn't much of a world to go back to anymore. I'm sorry. But there's a solution. I think
She-
me and Yvonne have an idea.
Which is?
Go to a parallel dimension of Intraria.
So that is why that changed. Follow me. She then begins to pick up her pace as she begins to walk forward in the opposite
Well,
direction.
Isn't there a way I can help read those inscriptions on your eyes?
I mean, well, what will reading them do?
At least you can figure out the meaning and be able to think on it. It's written down for you.
Sure, but the longer you stay here, the more time you end up wasting.
Wasting doing what? There's not exactly much else to do right now.
She then ponders on your words. I suppose. She turns back towards you, walks up to you, lifts up her veil, kind of goes on her tiptoes so you can get a closer view of her eyes.
Oh yeah, because Arthur's like 6'3".
Yeah.
Arthur like pulls out a little like journal. He like rips out a page and like he takes out. I guess what would you write with? Quill, pen, right?
Yeah. Quill pen. Yeah.
And let's just say there's ballpoint pens.
Yeah, you could just say there's pens. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay.
Okay, like one of those old school pens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With like ink that still has to dry.
Yeah.
That kind of pen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Arthur's kind of like looks at, and I'm gonna use. Is it magical by nature or is it just?
It is. No. It seems like this was inscribed by some deity.
Is it celestial?
Roll knowledge religion.
I mean, I know celestial.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Then in that case, yes.
Arthas kind of looks at it. The deity did this to
Why
you.
is Zach on roll 20? What?
I know, right?
Arthas kind of looks at it. Strange, it's in celestial.
It is.
I know
How
how
do
to
you
read
know?
it, luckily.
Oh, that's nice. She kind of feels a little bit uncomfortable considering the facts that, as she tells you, I haven't had anyone this close to me before, so... Well, with the exception of my distant family.
Why don't you sit down? This
She
may take a
sits...
That
second.
sounds so wrong.
I know it does.
Arthas just sits down next to her and kind of just like he's just like sort of writing. He sort of like glances at her eyes and like writes down the translation.
Okay.
Which language
Yvonne
do you
remains
prefer?
standing at a distance.
Which
There.
Arthas kind of looks at her. Which language do you prefer to be translated to?
Any is fine to me. I think I can read everything.
Can you?
I think.
Ar- Arthas,
She furrows her
I was
eyebrows
just
very slightly.
Arthas writes something in Mandelic. Can you read this?
She looks down at it. Yes. What did you write?
Just
something random.
Yeah, just something random.
Okay. And she says, yes, I can read it.
Interesting. Well then, Arthas starts writing down a translation from Celestial to Common.
Okay.
And he puts one for Elvish as well.
Okay. She reads both texts.
This phrase will sound slightly different, considering Elvish and Common aren't exactly word for word. But you should be able to get the point, at least.
She looks and reads it. The horizon exists.
So wait, what does it say?
The horizon the horizon exists. It spins. It comes and goes like the sun and moon.
The horizon. So the horizon goes on like the sun and moon. So the horizon is ever expanding. That's kind of what it's saying. Maybe
Yes.
maybe like one's prospects or future.
That's what I was more or less having the idea for, but I don't know. My 12-year-old mind can still not wrap my knowledge around what is going on. She kind of lightly shakes her head. She just stares into nothing for a bit.
Yvonne, any ideas?
He might be mute. Sean?
Grr.
Yeah, he's mute. It's okay.
Arthas sort of glances at. Actually, Arthas is gonna use like knowledge, religion to see if he could figure out what this is from.
Okay.
Roll, please. Oh, it's lagging. Okay.
Yeah, just give it a
second.
bit. Mine
nice.
is also lagging.
All right, so I got 21.
Oh, you got 21? Neato.
Yes.
Okay. So... Right. So it seems as this was likely from a god of the Galarian region known as Iori, the god of enlightenment, master of masters, the perfect human, the perfect man. It appears as if his very teachings are...
Bibby!
You left me.
I'm sorry, I'm doing the session.
They can be here. They can be here. It's okay. You can definitely tell that a couple of different domains that you're able to identify is that of knowledge, healing, rune, strength, and law.
Arthas kind of looks at it and says, perhaps it is a way of saying that the human mind is constantly expanding. Every prospect of strength, wisdom, intelligence, strength of mind, and physical strength. Age, even age itself, constantly expanding upon the horizon. Maybe that's what it's trying to say.
If that is the case, but what does that mean for me?
Perhaps it is merely saying that your horizon is still yet to expand because you are still young.
Maybe. She then ponders. I do notice a slight, correlation. Is that the right word?
Yes, that's the right word. Arthas kind of smiles.
It seems as when the more and more people that come here, I feel my knowledge begin to grow.
Just like your horizons. That's part of your horizons.
Is there ever any end?
It's hard to say. It depends on the person. With you, perhaps not. For some others, like gods, it does not end. Their horizons never end. But for mortals, it's a different story.
So
Mortals
are more limited in that regard.
Exactly. But it all depends on the mortal. Mortals can expand their horizons a lot more than they think they can.
She
More
then,
so even
she
gods
then
may
stands
think.
up as she's listening to you. Let us walk. As, you know, she kind of also gestures Yvonne, and Yvonne follows.
This is being a dad.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. I can see different things within you. Things that have happened in your past. It is strange.
Can see them.
She nods slightly.
How's that?
I don't know. It is a skill that I've had ever since I came to this place.
So you can see the horizons of others. What horizons they have expanded upon.
It
That's your gift,
appears to be that way. Mayhap I am a judge of other people's fates, and that is why you are here. That way I may be able to assist you in yours. You said you needed to travel to an alternate version of Contraria. As you guys eventually get to a crossing, she continues to walk forward. the light starts to kind of bounce and reflect upon the very dim stone walls. As you continue to walk forward, the whispers continue, but are very light the closer you are towards her. You come upon a wall with many different circles encircling other circles. It's almost like a constellation or a pattern of sorts, and you see the dial of Alcifor. You see that there are multiples of these dials, but it seems like the more that time passes, the more dials that appear after staring at it. And they are very small, represented by the soul symbol, but you get this very strange tangibility between one particular Alcifor that seems to almost have halted in its state. It appears gray as all of the others appear more white and gleaming. This one, as she points towards the gray one, is that where you're from?
Must be. It's the only one that's only completely shrouded.
Look closer to the others. There are about 15 of them.
There's
And
only 15 of them.
Huh.
I expected more, parallel.
as
Arthas
you were
kinda,
as
like,
you were
gestures
as
with
you were
his hand.
speaking, 2 more pop up.
Arthas just kind of like looks at it, then looks back at her, and just says, and this guy gives a face like, I'm not gonna even say anything about that.
It as time continues, as the nature of chaos being that
I'm back.
missing pieces. Oh, yo, what's up?
Aloha.
A little synopsis of what just happened. Arthas basically read the inscription upon this female's eyes, which you presume to be Alice herself, the girl that went missing 300 years, well, went into a coma 300 years ago because she touched a tree. And it appears she has these inscriptions that are encircling in the iris of her very bright, almost eldritch eyes. As she stares into Arthas, Arthas begins to read the inscriptions, which are bound in celestial and created by the deity Auri. Auri, yeah.
Alright.
No.
Alright did that.
No.
Goddamn.
The Master of Masters, as he is called. Also a god of healing, balance, knowledge, law. As you begin to notice, as Ivan, you just kind of watch this and witness this. You see that the inscription, as Arthas writes, to be something alluding towards the horizon, and mayhap Alice's vision of seeing that in others. But this is just food for thought for her as to trying to figure out, because the god said, essentially, if she can figure out that the reason that she is here, she may be able to yet return. But, of course, this is only just giving pieces to a puzzle. And as you guys continue walking throughout this hallway with whispers continuing to whisper and begin to echo in your mind from your surroundings, but the closer you stay to Alice, you eventually come up on this wall with many different representations of perhaps parallel dimensions that you see in front of you. And you can kind of see that one of these is kind of grayed, almost you feel a very weird tangible source stemming from your soul to that one. And she points at it saying, oh, this is the one that you guys are from. And Arthas just said that it looks to be that way, considering it's the only one of these 15, now 17, that look like this. But upon closer inspection of the others, it seems like all of them have a certain color to them. It strikes you as strange, but it is very, very faint to see. Each of these have issues with them, but the most clear one, she points to the one that is the brightest. That one is your best bet?
Alejandra.
Hello.
Oh, I gotta recap again.
What happened?
Okay. So without too much detail, basically Arthas and Ivan are talking with a person who is perceived to be Alice, the girl that went missing 300 years prior in Scythian history because she touched a glowing golden tree.
Me.
And as they're talking to her, they're trying to figure out a way to save their Intraria. So with this girl with these very strange runic texts circling in the iris of her very orange and almost eldritch eyes, they get conversation flowing, talking to her. Arthas reads the inscriptions. Yvonne just kind of sits, minds his business in that regard. And now, yeah, and now that they are kind of at this wall, almost representing multiple versions of Intraria, she then says, "Oh yeah, actually, that's perfect." She then says, "So, this location, this version, it is your..." She thinks of a word.
It's our horizon.
Yes. I think.
If you aren't sure of an answer, you'll never find one. Speak with conviction with your answer. Yes or no. It is. Do you have a gift of seeing others' horizons?
She ponders upon your previous statement and says.
Kind of gives her a look.
She ponders upon your statement, and she then says, "By that logic, yes, I can see the horizon of others." As she says this, it seems as some other piece of text begins to circle in her iris, almost the previous one being overwritten, and it begins to circle instead of being counterclockwise, going clockwise.
Okay, it still say the same thing?
No.
Arthas kind of looks at her eyes. It's changed now.
It's changed? I felt a very weird strain.
Seems like we're on the right track.
Thank you. What is your name?
Arthas. Strange.
She looks...
Surprised you didn't already know that.
I needed to verify. She then looks over to Ivan. And you're Ivan? Ivan?
Yvonne.
Ivan.
I see now.
She then looks over towards Arthas and Ivan. You had a connection with a very special individual, didn't you?
Nice.
We've had a lot of those.
It appears that way. But what is even more strange is I can see soul colors. There's two within you, and one is almost a duplicate of the other.
Arthas kind of looks up at her.
Looks up?
Down.
She is 5'1", buddy.
Oh God.
You look down at her. Okay, what?
Oh, he's just like that statement kind of caught his attention.
Have you heard this before?
Not in those exact words, but. So what do you mean by that?
It appears as if there is another being resting within you, laying latent. It's been there for... She then says, almost since your journey began. But a little bit after that, you had an encounter with a being of dimensions. You kind of recollect in your mind that being almost what she's talking about, being that of the Omni Knight battle.
I remember him, yes.
Oh, so then that is likely where the connection was forged, but it wasn't with him. I don't know who it was with. I think that might be our next key. My next key.
Let's see what it says now. Arthas kind of like looks and starts to write the translation for the next wall of text in her eyes.
I love how you say wall of text. As it reads, greater or lesser in the eyes of another. Is it relative or objective?
Boy.
I know. I know. From both the player standpoint and the PC standpoint, I understand.
Riddles, yay. Arthas kind of just thinks to himself.
Riddle gang.
So, what is relative and what is subjective to you?
I don't know. I have never really cared about anything more than my trees.
There's more to that. Remember, with everything you learn, your horizons expand. So try learning about what makes your horizons expand. What interests you?
That will take longer than I believe you have time for, but I would like a friend or two. She then looks to you and Ivan. Would you think about revisiting me?
How are we able to revisit you?
It is simple. Though it is strange. Touch an Alice tree.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
She nods. If your hearts are the same from the time that you leave here and from the time that you return, then yes, it will be completely safe and you will return to me.
And will we be able to leave?
Yes, like you will be able to here in a moment. However, unfortunately, as she kind of reads the wall with her hands, it says here that you are having to leave some things behind.
I've already left something behind. Arthas's eyes flash purple. What more could I leave behind?
Nothing. She shakes her head. It seems like you are already content in your loss. I admire that. I respect it.
So wait, was it relative and what else?
Relative and objective, greater or lesser.
Okay. You said you admire that. So you find a greater relativity. You find a greater sense in someone. Isn't that relative to you?
She thinks about that statement. Yes or no, you said, yes?
Correct. That's the only way to solve this. You cannot be indecisive.
Then, unfortunately, I can't answer yet. I feel like there's more for me to see. I can't base my decision off of something so abstract. Yes, I know it has been 300 years, but I wish things could have gone differently. But don't we all?
Exactly.
She looks over to Ivan and then back to you and says, are you prepared to take the journey in front of you?
What kind of parallel universe is this? Or dimension, I should say.
It should be exactly the same with some minor differences.
Which are?
may be in the people, but structurally, it should all be the same.
I see. Well, will you be thinking about what I said?
Of course I will. I, just as anyone else, would want to leave this place as soon as possible.
Well, again, there's not exactly much else to do.
Yes, there is.
She then kind of shows that gleaming bright star.
Arthas kind of smiles. Now you're getting it. Nothing. Now you're seeing the difference between being indecisive, saying yes, or saying yes and no. You're starting to say yes now, because things aren't as relative to you. Things are greater and lesser towards you, aren't they?
She looks at you and smiles. You do have a point. Thanks for your intuition. I'll be thinking about it.
And in that innocent smile,
She then says, it seems it reads here that you will arrive 2 years before the start of your original adventure.
Getting old.
No, I'm getting old.
At least you get to keep your original age's look. I don't. Well,
Who knows
you know.
about how I'm doing on the outside? This might just be a mentality.
From
that's
what I've
keeping me
heard,
this age.
you look the same on the outside.
Oh, thank
Mine-
the
mi-
heavens.
Minus the eyes. Since your eyes are closed, no one can really see them.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
she then kind of gives an awkward smile. And as you see the glint in her eyes just kind of stare both back and forth towards you and Ivan, she then asks Ivan,
Is there something that you are willing to leave behind?
Fuck, time to check my gear list.
nice.
See what I've
Also,
got.
I'll be right back.
Okay, chill.
Cool. Gives me time to look.
Nice.
Be pretty fucked up if I gave her alcohol.
Yeah, I think it would be giving alcohol to a minor. Uh-huh.
I'm
Yep.
good anyway.
You're old enough, right?
I mean, she...
I can give him a collapsible bathtub.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Ooh, I know what I can give.
Do you now?
Apparently, I have a thing called a personal sigil.
As you offer this to her, she then says,
No, you need to keep this. Unfortunately, it's not something that I can take from you. After all, it is affixed with your soul, and it being an offering to me would do nothing for you.
Fucking gift. Okay. I have nothing but food or alcohol or tent shit. Do you want a bear trap?
keep in mind
you
at
know
this,
what? Actually, you know what?
keep in mind at this point you would still have your
Da-pa-da.
weapons.
I was literally about to give him a tomahawk.
Okay. She then looks at them and she says,
Yes, this will do.
as she then takes them from you, as you hand them to her lightly, she kind of scratches and slides her finger on the blade side, and you know this is very minute dose of blood just kind of streamed down her thumb.
Arthas kind of looks at her. Careful, it's sharp.
Yes, I never really was good with dealing with sharp objects. I was very clumsy being a florist, and, well, Clipping my thumbs on thorns was always something that
Oh, girl,
my parents scolded me for.
Alejandra and this girl could
Yo,
get
get her
along.
some fucking gloves. Oh my god.
Arthas kind of looks at her
Get her
and
some
then
of
like,
that A1 chainmail fucking glove. I have one of those. Oh, on god. You guys better save that for her if you ever encounter it in game.
Arthas kind of just looks at her and this says, you know. Arthas kind of looks at his gloves and just kind of grimaces like, meh. He's like, meh, too giant.
It will not fit her hands, and she could probably fit both hands in one glove, and then still have some room.
Yeah, she's like freaking 12.
Yeah. She is little.
Arthas, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying she's little. Good.
Arthas kind of looks at her. You see, Arthas kind of like takes hold of one of the Talaks. You see, when you're trying not to cut yourself on something sharp, you hold on the end that's not metal. Such as, that's what the handle's for. Arthas hands her, try it.
Oh. She then kind of grabs the handle end in complete mystification of the fact that you can even possibly hold a weapon with the handle end.
Arthas like draws his dagger, and then like he draws his dagger, and then shows the handle. See,
Oh.
everything has a sharp end and a dull end, not just with thorns or weapons, but with people too.
Oh shit!
It's a little heavy.
Of course it is. It's a weapon. Weapons hold weight to them because of what you take on by carrying them and wielding them.
Are weapons your important value?
No, people carry more weight than weapons.
I see. That girl. In your memory. Is she important to you?
You'll have to be more specific, I'm afraid.
She starts thinking, the closest element that comes to mind is ice.
In Rivia, yeah, she is important. Unfortunately, I had to leave her behind for now.
They cannot pass through this, unfortunately. Elementals are bound by their plane.
So, are you saying that she won't be able to get across ever?
She shakes her head. Unfortunately, no, unless she broke that elemental connection.
She may have, sorta, kinda. She's now a maiden than an elemental, if that makes any sense.
She turns her head lightly, still staring blankly all the while, and says,
Oh, then maybe she could, but as it turns out, it seems like her...
She looks towards the wall.
Look.
She points towards a transparent area. As it then shifts, you can see in Rivia's arms being held out, almost creating a time field where life has completely halted in her herself. As she has her eyes closed, you can see...
Meow.
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 Is
My
it
mic's
an
not
Alejandro cat or is
You'll
that?
have
Oh
to
yeah, it's
add to the
Alejandro's
counter.
cat.
What?
Yeah.
Add to the counter.
Oh my god.
Meow.
I asked it like 5 seconds before
Alejandro,
anyone
go pet the
spoke,
kitty.
and it just Mike just said no.
Kitty.
Kitty.
Bart, I
I like how
said
Ken
both.
meowed and you said
I know,
kitty.
it's adorable.
Her kid is so adorable.
Oh, I want Kiddo and Everest to have a playdate.
I like how that cat sounds adorable on like Everest.
Everest is a little shit.
Everest is great.
He was eating the bags when I was taking a bath.
Let him eat the bags. Damn, rude.
Why you gotta interrupt the process?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
Kitty. Alejandra, don't mute Kitty. Pet Kitty.
Cute pets.
But she then turns to Arthas.
Sexy.
Arthas, what would you be willing to leave behind?
What would I be willing to leave behind?
She nods.
So wait, do I still have my old gear or no?
Yeah, you would still have your old gear at this point.
Arthas takes out his hand axe and looks at it. It's one of the last things from home.
She looks up to you. She shakes her head. Looks at the very pleasant-looking sword.
That will do.
Arthas sighs. I hate to part with it, but if I must. Will this make it so Enrivia can cross?
No, it will make it to where you can cross.
But we'll make Enrivia cross.
Enrivia, as you saw, is holding complete silence and stillness of the other Entraria. That is why it is gray. If it were to proceed any further, it would turn black, which means the destruction of the realm itself. She's holding it on pause, if you will.
Why? Why is she trying to hold on to something that's already dying?
That is all she knows. And she has full faith in you. Do you remember her words when you two parted ways?
Yes, I remember.
Her pleasant smile fills your mind. And at the same time, the tears that are also falling from that transparent face that you saw from holding her arms out. Holding everything in a frozen frame. It seems as everything has stopped movement. Even the tears that have streamed down her face. Alice even says,
Are you ready? Arthas?
I think so. Yes, I am.
You must follow your own path and your own rules. You can't be hit. What is the word for it?
Describe it.
You can't be one way, but you also...
Indecisive.
No.
On the fence.
No.
Word, not phrase.
Word. You can't be okay with one thing that someone does, but you yourself
Hypocritical.
also be... What is that word?
Alejandra in the back.
gave you key. She gave you a...
Gave you what?
Hypocritical.
What?
Hypocritical, you'd think.
Oh. Are you saying I'm a hypocrite?
Oh, that's the word. No. Maybe your action, but you shouldn't be that. Anyhow, Ivan, are you ready?
Yvonne nods.
Arthas, are you prepared?
Yes.
Good. Then...
She kind of like offers to grab both of your hands in both of hers. Who goes on right? Who goes on left?
Arthas doesn't care. Arthas goes on left.
Okay.
Yvonne will go to the right.
All right. She grabs both of your hands and brings them together and clasps them towards the wall, towards the bright white. She holds up her palm with her free hand. She utters a few strange words, and the whispering stops. With this whispering, you remember the last thing you both remember is a smile stream off of her face. Everything goes black and dark. You feel your senses begin to tingle. You start hearing the chirping of birds. Give me just a moment. Gotta get a thing. Okay, there we go. You start hearing the chirping of birds around you. Small critters that crawl up the trees and that of insects. You can feel something crawling on your face, Arthas. Yvonne, you feel something tickling at your wrist. You kind of start to move your body as you slowly open your eyes and let your eyes adjust to the bright state of the world around you. As you look at the grass underneath you, Arthas, you can tell you're automatically in Scythia.
This is different.
Yvonne, you also awaken. Arthas, you feel
Arthas
like...
kind of like taps him with his foot. Yvonne, get up.
Yvonne's gonna open his eyes and just look around.
Yvonne, you see a spider on Arthas's face, and Arthas, you see a squirrel just kind of slightly clawing at Yvonne's wrist.
Arthas kind of like he doesn't have problem with spiders, much like I do. Arthas sort of takes off the spider and just kind of like he just tosses it. It's like, Yvonne, you have a friend there with you.
So you hear the chitters of the squirrel just kind of brushing against you, Yvonne.
He wants to pet the squirrel.
That's nice. As you pet the squirrel, or reach out your hand to pet the squirrel, the squirrel just
Handle animal.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's see how bad this goes. Character sheet. Okay.
Watch it go really
Where's handling? I gotta look at my alphabet. Here it is. Back to the screen. Boop, boop.
You reach out your hand, and as you
wait. Sorry, 7, 8, 9. Ah!
As you reach out your hand, the squirrel kind of dashes off to the nearest tree and starts climbing up it. And as it looks at you from the tree, just kind of stares at you for a few seconds before continuing to climb the tree. You start looking around at the coniferous trees. A couple pines almost gives you a tundra feel. You can definitely feel the cold, Arthas, as it reminds you of anywhere somewhere between central and northern Scythia that you can tell.
Arthas just smells, like, takes a deep breath of the air.
You take a deep breath of the air. It definitely reminds you somewhere of close to, hold on, where is it? On my map. It seems...
Wait, Arthas could go get...
Uh-huh.
Dog!
Dorg!
You
Dog!
can.
Arthas kind of like looks up and just says, we're close. Yvonne.
Yvonne?
Eh?
Yvonne, we're pretty far from, probably pretty far from any civilization. Though I do have a good way to get us some fast motor transportation. Are you interested?
I'm listening.
You see, my people rode dire wolves. and my direwolf is around here somewhere. We could find her, and then she'll be faster than any horse, and more ferocious than a bear. How does that sound?
Let's go for it.
Arthas gives like a toothy grin. Let's see if we can find her. We'll have to go a bit more north if that's fine with you. No, I think that won't be an issue. We have these hides to warm us, so we should be fine.
Alright, both of you roll survival. That way you can try to detect where you are, at least. Arthas, you roll initiative. Not initiative, advantage.
Oh.
You roll advantage.
Yay!
Because this is your homeland.
Yay!
Yvonne, you also roll survival.
Oh god, this is gonna go bad.
It's not gonna be like your handle animal roll, okay?
That's what you think. It'll be worse. Oh my
god. Never mind. Never mind. It was the exact same. Alright. That's
you
nice
lied
to
to
know.
me.
I didn't lie. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Anyhow. So, Yvonne, you have no idea where the fuck you are. Arthas, so you're just kind of staying near Arthas.
Yeah.
Arthas, you find yourself kind of thinking that you are, let's see, what would that be? You don't see any mountains nearby, meaning that you're probably on the western half of northern Scythia. So you feel yourself in between Valania's Keep and mayhap to the north of Sisse, which kind of puts you in between this potentially large river.
Okay. I don't know what you're looking at, by the way.
I know. I want to take a picture of it, but I doubt I could get the best quality. So we're gonna try to take a picture of this, and we'll see what we can get.
Okay.
I'll show you, and then you'll see kind of where I'm thinking you are. Though, I will be honest, it may not be the most accurate representation. There we go. Okay, that was a pretty good picture. Let's hope this goes well. I'm gonna send it to you on Discord, and then I'll see what I can do beyond that. Will it not share? Can you not hit the share button? Thank you.
Sure.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, you can just share with bloody screen share Kindle instead of taking a screenshot.
No, because I took a picture of it on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to take a picture of it on my phone because I don't have every single segment of the map in tiny picture form, unfortunately.
Why not, Ken? Gosh.
See, I was thinking about it, but then no.
Okay, so where are we?
Do you see where okay, go east of that. You see where that second tree that is exact east?
Second tree is the one kind of like, it's like a sideways triangle shape.
No.
Ah.
What? No. Okay. So
No,
you see
like
where
the-
Valania's Keep is? You see where the star is?
Yeah.
You're gonna go straight, like, make a beeline straight to the right.
Yeah, the farthest tree.
Uh-huh. Now you're gonna go...
Yeah, no.
Now, listen. Now you're gonna go down left. You're kind of near that tree. Or those sets of trees. Does that make sense?
And where is home?
Home is not on that segment.
Ah,
You are pretty far from home.
okay. I mean, it's gonna be worth it, and I don't care. And besides, we got time to burn.
You do. You got literally 2
Yvonne.
years.
Arthas kind of looks at his provisions, so this will be a longer trek if that's all right with you, Yvonne.
Just get me out of here.
Honest, that's a pretty honest response. So we'll go ahead and say it like this. So, as you continue to take your time to travel day and night with the provisions that you currently have, you keep yourself stocked by traveling in between towns and meeting different kinds of people. You make your way eastward over towards Arthas's home, which lies within the town of Baluk. You venture eastward from there as the frigid temperatures begin to drop lower and lower. You feel like, as you guys are sufficiently coated,
God damn it.
you're sufficiently coated to as much as you can. At least the colder that it gets, you definitely can tell the frigid winds bite against your skin.
Arthas is not bothered.
Arthas is definitely not bothered. This feels normal to you. Though,
I mean,
Yvonne, you're used to a little bit more warmer temperatures.
Tiny bit, not by much. Where he's from is pretty cold too.
Yeah. So it's not that drastic of a change, but it is definitely change. Go ahead and roll perception to see if you can search for a certain someone.
Pog.
Okay. You look around you. Start to think and look. You begin to search around trees. You begin to look in the deep crevices of the snow-filled fields. The bevels and curves, slopes, caverns that have come from it. After, killing some beasts and making your way across the vast tundra, you start seeing traces of some larger figure.
Girl, I know you're here.
Complete silence as you continue your trek. Armed to the T, you gather that whatever this presence is, it's familiar and it's near.
Arthas is going to use his voice not to do like shout, but to almost do a call, kind of like this. You know how I sent you that thing with showing the flashback? You know how the whole singing thing where his voice? Yeah, he's going to do that. That's the way of calling one's mount.
Okay. So, as you start to emanate this aura around you, you start getting a stronger feel. Of course, this is after months of travel.
Oh yeah, no, this wasn't like, I just showed up a week, like, there she is.
Yeah, no.
This is tracking like a very, very cold trail.
Oh yeah. It is actually taking you, I would say, I'm gonna say roughly 7 wakes.
Oh Jesus!
Searching, because it seems like every single time you would take a small break,
she'd get further,
or at least you'd lose the trail, and then you'd find it again. And this goes on for a period of 7 wakes until you finally feel that you're right near her, almost on top of her. You start looking around you, seeing like this sporadic little grass.
Arthas kind of looks at Yvonne. Yvonne, if you see her, she may mistake you for a berserker orc, so be careful. And try not to reach for your weapon. Understand?
He nods.
And when I said almost like you were on top of her, I meant that quite literally. As you walk forward, you feel this like rump, and then you completely get knocked over by this very large figure that ruffles out of the snow, kind of throws snow everywhere.
Arthas draws his face, like he sort of because Arthas sort of draws his dagger.
That's the creature that's over you.
Arthas says in Mandelic.
This.
Sorry, I kept you waiting so long. Arthas kind of tears start streaming down his face.
I'll be right back.
As in that moment, your very large direwolf, Sif, kind of embraces you with a very heavy hug. Almost rams into you and just starts cuddling with you.
Big dork.
Big puppy.
Very big
Arthas
puppy.
Very, like the size of a freaking horse.
Yes.
The bigger the
Not what
dork,
we're
the better.
Yes, big.
um,
Arthas gonna like hold her for a few moments. You're here. I finally found you.
You did. I was almost surprised. I had a feeling I was being hunted. I was about to turn around and kill whoever it was, but only to know.
You always were the better tracker than I was.
Yes, I would have led you out into the wild to kill you, but little did I know.
give me just a moment.
Just like old times. Big dog! Yes! I'm a big dog, Alejandra.
Big dork.
Yay! Imagine if I did this in during second iteration. Everyone would be like, oh my character!
I was excited for a reunion of Big dork.
Big dog.
Big dork.
I gotta go.
But now.
I'll see y'all tonight.
Dang it.
Like late.
That's fine. Yeah,
Sorry.
you might be on.
Bye.
You may.
Bye.
Okay. Hold on. Let me go do something real quick and we'll continue this interaction.
Berg.
Neat.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh. Bruh. Doggy.
Bruh.
It's big doggy.
Go.
Also, I'm not going to say anything about Skip's choice.
I was gonna send a message to him because I was like, whoa. Just reminded
Like,
me
hey,
about that.
Skip, what the fuck? But yes. Yes, so excited, big doggy. Dog. Yes. God, just like Arthur shows back up and Arrow's just like, oh yeah, I have a giant wolf now. Deal with it.
Oh, sorry, hold on. I'll send the message. What happened?
Huh?
What?
Wah.
What?
I'm just saying big doggy, like, I love the big doggy.
Understandable big dogs reach a nice part of my cold heart.
Yes. You don't have a cold heart. What are you talking about, Alejandra? Alejandra,
Not cold, but lukewarm heart.
I'm going to... Bruh. Alejandra, I swear to God.
I will relent, for sure.
But you better. Just kidding.
Brr. Toxic. Toxic.
Toxic, so manipulative. Oh my God, Alejandra. God, I like how the whole situation has become a running joke.
Because, oh god, it feels like the fifth dozen nuclear meltdown that's tried to happen on the server.
I know, right? Yeah. And strangely enough, involve the same people every time.
Hi.
Kendall!
Huh?
Kendall! Where have you been? Just kidding. Oh, don't cry me. Shush, 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 shush. That's so manipulative.
That's good God.
Don't be crying. Jesus Christ.
So manipulative. You have emotions.
Damn. I see how it is. I gotta fold my arms in disgust now. Come on. I gotta describe to you how I'm feeling. Anyway, but yeah, after your very long embrace with Sif and the fact that you've reunited with her, she then says, "Oh, go no, go ahead.
Actually, no. What did Sif say?
Sif then says,
I wasn't worried for any time. You are strong. You will live. And I
Dude.
will fight for someone like you who can live.
Well, it It's been a funny few years, that's for sure.
Yes. Things have gone differently.
How so?
I have been tracing a scent.
Who sent?
I know not. But every single time I come back to it, it is just a large rock.
Don't understand. Is that doesn't really. Are they natives or are they foreigners?
Perhaps natives, but the scent of this one is ripe with fumes.
Fear. Is he one of our people or one of our neighbors? The neighboring.
Neighbors.
I see. How long have you been tracking this scent?
It has been a week or two.
Why are you so interested in this scent?
I feel some reminded connection between you and I. But to know it wasn't you. I grew more and more sad as it led me back to a damned rock.
What do you mean a rock? Like an actual rock?
Sif shakes its head, ruffling a little bit more of its bristled fur. It says,
Her.
Her.
Just kidding. Stop misgendering my
Fine.
direwolf.
Her fur.
Yeah, good.
Okay. She then says,
It is shiny. Something people would buy. But it was large.
Mineral then? It's a mineral then?
It seems that way. But I do not know.
Show me.
after a few more weeks of travel, probably about
Almost like, God, we spent almost like a year traveling.
Yeah.
We have time.
You do have time. Actually, as you are searching for it, you bump into a female with green hair and green eyes and dark skin.
Arthas is writing Sif, by the way.
Yeah, of course. And but what about Ivan?
There's room for two. Sif is freaking huge.
Okay. So as both of you are riding on Sif, you encounter a female with green eyes, green hair, very long curly green hair, dark skin, and she's like topped with a very heavy coat. She then waves to you. Oh,
Get yourself set.
Yes, I have been. Where are you headed?
Sif, is this the one?
Sif stares very intently.
Not the one in question. But it seems like their goals run parallel with us.
Oh, by the way, this is like telepathic, so only
yes, I know,
Arthas can hear this.
I know. I figured that much.
We're tracking a scent.
A scent, you say?
Yes. What are you doing out here? This place is not exactly friendly to travelers.
No,
You best be on your way.
No, it is not friendly. However, I will say this. I am searching. I am going back to conduct more research upon a recent crystal that I found. Crystal, Sif says.
Same one then, isn't it?
It seems to be.
Do you think we can trust her?
Sif stares strongly. Only
What?
for the moment.
What exactly will you do with this crystal when you find it?
I've already found it. It's just I've been going back and forth between the crystal and Valtaire. It is a very far travel, of course, with it being about... Let's see, how far would that be? Because you guys would have headed back west, meaning you would have been a bit closer to the mountains in the Clockwork City. So that would mean that would be about a travel of roughly 5 days. 5 cycles. So she would say, I have been out riding as she is kind of walking her way. I have been out walking and riding for perhaps a total of 6 when the tundra hit and it was cold and snowfall began to make my travel a lot more difficult. So I couldn't rely on the horses, and so I decided to use my own 2 feet.
Oh yeah, Ken. By the way, I have a thing for Sif actually, a little small character sheet that could probably help you.
Ooh, I would like that very much. You can just send it to me, but yeah.
Yep, I'm going to do that. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, she says that.
Here, let me send it to you. Come here. There we go. Just a few small things. It's not much, but it's
I know. It gives me something to work off of, though. Oh, thanks! Oh, so this is... You used it for this! Awesome! Makes me happy. Let me read. Ooh, okay, cool. With you feeding Sif a bit more on your travel, just, you know, the bonding between you and her, Escondia then says, my name is Master Escondia. Well, title. You may just refer to me as Escondia. What is yours?
I am Arthas. This is Ivan.
Yvonne waves.
And Arthas Sif's neck. This is Sif.
Good to meet you all. Then would you like to travel together to this water crystal? Sif doesn't seem the slight bit interested, but
Hello?
of course,
Hello?
only for the
Hello.
moment. Hi.
Wait, what are we doing here? Come on.
More or less, I'm doing some stuff with Arthas right now.
Arthas kind of like looks at. Oh yeah, it's the green-haired lady you tried to flirt with.
Mm-hmm.
The water crystal. That sounds familiar. You don't happen to be trying to find the location of some water temple, are you?
That too, actually. What do you know about that?
Arthas sort of shrugs. I know enough. You probably freeze by the time you reach there, at least on foot. Not by hound, though.
She then says, I was more or less trying to reserve my magical powers until they would come in need. However, it seems I need not ride on your hound. I have sufficient mobility myself. She then begins to hover above the snow after murmuring certain words. And she's like, I shall race you there. As she then quickly dashes off on arcane wind.
Sif, catch her.
As Sif quickly closes the distance, you make it a race for a pretty good few minutes as you do close in on your location. The closer that you get,
you start feeling a gleam, almost memories of a blue-haired lady that you may have remember. And as you finally get to where the location of the crystals were, or the crystal is, you see a few fallen trees. And it is seemingly hidden under a heavy pile of snow. But you can see the surface of the crystal.
I'll imagine just like Sif is just there digging it up like a dog does.
Honestly, fair.
She's like, bruh, dog.
Escondia exhausted a lot of her magical energy, and she just kind of kneels over, starts
Seems like you'll have
panting.
to ride on the hound on the way back.
Fine.
Do not approach from the front. She will bite you. Approach from the back. This is not a horse.
All right, all right. She then shakes her head. Sif says, "Who did I give you permission to say that she can ride on me?"
Sif. It's either that or she died from frostbite and exhaustion. What would you prefer? She seems to know something that's important to both of us.
Then why not get the information out of her and leave her? Makes more sense that way.
Sif. I've changed, you know this. We can't be cold-hearted to everybody.
Only because I see you as my better, and as a friend.
You are my better.
Silence is protruding from Sith at this moment, so she doesn't say
Arthas
anything.
pats her head. Sif. Don't grumble at me. Arthas sort of like pokes her. Just like how a giant dog grumbles.
All right. I will follow along with this.
You don't sound happy.
But I do not like her.
Why not? You only just met her.
That's the point.
You're always slow to trust.
I am.
Yes. The problem is that we'll probably be dealing with people that you won't know. You'll have to adapt, Sif. That's how you survive. You're a direwolf. You understand that as much.
I see. Adaptation is strange. Fine.
Seems like gotten grumpier.
In your absence, yes, I've been searching for Fenrir.
Wait, who's Fenrir again? I forgot.
Look at your own document.
It's been a while.
Oh my god. That's I'm just kind of like taking the information as it comes. I like it.
Arthas kind of just looks at her. Have you found anything?
Sif shakes her head.
Damn it. I think she's gone. I'm afraid, Sif.
Silence from Sif.
Arthas kind of like pets her head for a moment. Sif.
Sif goes into a relaxed position, just kind of sprawls out on her belly, just kind of curls into a
Cuddly wolf.
And
there's the old Sif I remember.
She then lays her head down on the fresh snow and just kind of waits as Scandia performs her measures and starts kind of dusting off the snow in front of her.
Sif
opens her eyes and looks at you.
You must realize that I am here now. You don't have to be alone.
Hold on.
Remember, Sif is a lot grumpier. Well, to be fair, it's been like, how many years? 6? 5? 4? She's definitely gotten a lot grumpier. Because I remember when I wrote her, she was not this grumpy.
A lot more gruff. You can ask about it. Maybe investigate. See what's up.
Yeah, I'm sure some bad shit happened while Arthas was gone.
Yeah, you know, like having to suffer being alone.
Yeah, that too. Oh god, she's literally just like Arthas. If he didn't have his support system.
Hola.
Hello.
Zeph, you're different. You have a coldness about you, a bitterness in you that I've not seen before.
It is the abandonment, loneliness of me trying to find something that wasn't there, and of me trying to find something who was delayed. It hurts.
Arthas gets off, Sif. Arthas gets off, Sif.
Thanks.
Arthas gets off Sif and just hugs her. I'm sorry. I tried to find you whenever I could, but something else. There's always something that kept pulling me back. You're a hard wolf to track, Sif. Remember that.
I know.
Look at me. We're together again. Right. We can endure the world together now.
She glares, but then she eases her tension. She says, "You're right."
Remember what Father used to say?
Yes.
We were broken once, then we were reforged, and now we are reforged.
Sif lays down and relaxes. You can definitely tell that she's much more eased. She then says,
"Thank you for the reminder. I appreciate you and all of your existence."
And I you. Arthas kind of pets her. Pet the dog.
She also kind of rolls into the pet too.
Big, at the end of the day, she's a big doggy. Big giant doggy.
Escondia, after doing about maybe 30 minutes to an hour of investigation, she uncovers the crystal and dislodges it from its location. It is fairly heavy. She then says,
Oh god,
here.
let's see. Arthas kind of looks at Sif and gives her an apologetic look. Of course. Arthas walks over and picks it up from her and just be like, "Give me that."
Whoa! I can take it. I'm not as weak as I look.
No, maybe you're not, but you're exhausted.
I'm not exhausted. I was sitting down for an hour.
Arthas, hold out your hand.
She holds out her hand, a little bit shaky.
Arthas says, "Yep, you're too weak. Come on."
Fine. I will do so.
But just know that do not show this any sort of weakness.
It is not weakness, it is merely a state of your body. Nothing more.
I know what fatigue is. I know. I just don't like relying on others to do what I can do. Of course, I made it all the way out here by myself.
Yes. You need not be bitter towards those who want to help you. It merely hurts you more in the long run.
That may be true, but self-sufficiency to most standards that I have grown up on is only really how most things get done. Of course.
Most things, not all things.
Of course. That is why I typically keep a very small circle of people around me. Usually, however, none of them were willing to go with me on this small little expedition. But now I believe I have a consensus on what this is. Seems to be important in some way, shape, or form. It contains 2 souls, if you will, if you understand anything about that.
Arthas kind of gives her a look. I'm a cleric.
I don't know that.
Arthas kind of like moves the crystal to show his necklace.
All right. Okay, so you're all right. So you're a cleric.
Arthas can tell there's a slight race. She's being slightly racist towards him because of his race.
That's not quite the look she's giving. It's just
No,
more
but
towards-
like it just being like, oh, he's a cold-born. He doesn't know about magic, and he's just like, meh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then in that case, probably.
That's a stereotype.
It is a
Arthas
stereotype.
Arthas kind of like looks at her and looks at Sif like, ugh.
Sif
Arthas-
gives you the look of, I told you so.
You know, like there's a reason why you're my better half, Sif.
She just kind of looks towards you, and then looks towards Escondia, and then closes her eyes again.
Viscondia.
Yes.
Unlike the rest, we aren't just as simple-minded as you may think. And his eyes sort of like flash white for a second.
I don't believe you're simple-minded, just not as fluent in matters of the arcane. That is all I have the premonition towards. And apprehension is wrong.
Then you are more foolish than you look.
Foolish? No. Apprehensive? Yes.
Your ignorance is baffling.
It seems to be that way, but what turns out from my, as what you would call ignorance, is actually a wealth of knowledge. You should pay more attention in that regard. You'll learn a lot more, learn a lot quicker especially. She then begins to get up, get her
Arthas
starts...
kind of like looks at Sif and gives her a look like, I hate when you're right.
Sif again opens her eyes, gives you that glare saying, I told you so, but this time
Yes.
it's on you.
Fine, you were right, Sif. Let's just get this bitch to where she wants to go and be done with her.
Sif agrees to the statement. And so, on the journey back, with Escondia and the crystal in tow, it being kind of heavy, but Sif, due to the environmental conditions, she's able to definitely take it. It takes probably around a few days, so it probably takes more around almost a week in that regard, because 5 days I'm going to consider as a week, to travel back to,
Yeah, Arthas is not like this lady. Also, I'm glad you're actually incorporating this, because this is something that never happened in second iteration, which it should have. Where people look down at him because of his race, because he's a cold-born. And Alejandro, I love the slight racism, right?
Huh? Hold on, sorry, what?
That this lady being slightly racist.
Yes, what about her being slightly racist?
I don't like it.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point.
When people like racism.
Honestly, Bobbias, you could bite. Bobbias, go ahead and bite this lady. I do not give a fuck.
What?
Yeah. Bite her. She's She's racist. Bite her.
Well, what if I said I'm into that?
Oh.
Then what would you do?
I would be disappointed in you more than I already am.
You haven't even met him.
Yeah, you don't even know me.
Exactly. Anyways.
But anyhow,
I'm actually a woman. Dun, dun.
I'll say this. So after you guys get back to Veoter, Escondia thanks you, and she then says,
That was a very long travel, and forgive my indulgence. It is just, I haven't been in the brightest of moods lately.
You should be careful with your words when you would have easily frozen to death if we had not been there.
I would have been fine. I've done
No, you
walks
wouldn't.
like this all the time.
Arthas shakes his head. Arthas kind of like his eyes sort of glow pale white. Don't you understand? I was born here. You know nothing about that place. I could tell by the way you walk. I could tell by the way you talk. You would not last a week out in that tundra if we had not been there. Do not try to lecture me on things you don't know about. You know your books, and I know the wilds.
She then takes a moment to think. Then let's have a fair exchange, yes? Would you be willing to teach me in exchange for me teaching you about more matters of the arcane?
Only if you do not look at me as much as you're lesser because of my race.
She smiles. In that
Arthas
case, I will
Arthas
agree
kind of like he
with
narrows
these
his eyes even more when she smiles.
I will agree with these terms. Over the entire trip that we took, and the breaks that we took, I definitely see the amount of purposeful cohesion between you and Sif and Ivan. And it seems
Sif.
as you definitely have more of the way of things. I felt like an outsider in that regard.
Because you are.
And exactly. And after I realized that, that's when I realized I was wrong. And so I will apologize. I'm sorry.
Arthas kind of looks at Sif.
Sif looks up, very skeptical of her apology, but
Sif.
accepts it nonetheless.
Arthas sort of like kind of like must gesture towards Sif to move forward, just to be like, if Sif will judge your apology. She's better at reading people than I am.
Sif takes a very slow prowl towards Escondia. Glares. They both
Do not
stare at
reach.
each other.
Arthas sort of like looks at her. Do not reach for your weapon. She will rip you to shreds.
You must know how a Scythian is. She then just kind of rests her arms next to her side. Sif then says, This woman, I cannot get a proper read on her at the current moment, but
She's hiding something.
she is.
Arthas kind of like looks at her and gets off Sif. And he takes a couple steps towards her.
Yes.
I do not know whether to accept or deny your apology. You're hiding something.
She looks towards Sif and then says, Must you have Sif do everything for you? She then says, I am hiding something, but it is more important to a certain knowledge that I was asked to keep secret. But in the exchange, I would tell you.
Arthas kind of gives her a waiting look.
I suppose me first, then. Follow me into my college. Sif would have to...
Sif will come.
Inside the...
She will either she stays outside and everyone panics, or she comes with me and they know I can handle her.
Problem is she won't be able to fit inside the rooms. So we can conduct it outside. That is all right. She then kind of guides y'all to a more hidden location in Valter, away from the cathedral, but somewhere kind of in a collection of trees and kind of like a little stump and campfire. She then lights the campfire and begins talking. So, around this time last year, there were a couple of terrible events that happened. As you know about the pyramid to the north, there was a skirmish of sorts. And with the disappearance of Master Kataro, which was...
Kataro's gone.
You know him.
I do. I know a lot of things. Arthas kind of leans forward. Maybe because I know more about the arcane than you might think.
Again, you have me there. And as you can tell by my title, I am actually a Grandmaster, but Grandmaster of Central Scythia. I was
can
ordered
tell.
to come to North. Of course you can. She then rolls her eyes jokingly.
Only a Scythian not from the north would think a good idea to take a horse to the snow.
I would. You're right. I, being raised there for a majority of my life and then moving to Marseille really changed my perspective on things. And then I returned to see the differences.
That's where she gets elitism for. Oh!
Yeah.
I studied in Marseille for
Ah,
few
now
years
that
of my
makes
life.
sense. That's where the elitism comes from.
Yes, and again, forgive me, I am trying to mellow them down. To return
Yep.
to...
Judge not by
roots.
appearance, judge by actions. It's simple and easy to follow. Even for us simple-minded cold-born.
She then says simple-minded, which she does air quotes. She then says, anyhow, Master Kataro has disappeared. Northern Scythia has been in a very weak state ever since. There hasn't been really any governmental action there, and within that time...
Arthas chuckles. There's never been governmental action, you foolish child.
Not that you knew of, at least. Because Kataro actually kept quite a few tabs on everything that happened through a collection of a webbing of people. And ever since a certain man by the name of, or being, I would suppose, been traces of a person wearing a very dark armor.
Omni Knight.
You know about that as well.
I've crossblades
What
with him
don't-
before.
What don't
He does.
you
He does.
know?
He doesn't know. He wouldn't remember me though.
What did you say?
I said he wouldn't remember me. I've crossbladed with him
No.
once.
When you say that, it seems that she does not understand at all what you said.
Oh. Oh yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen eventually. I was just waiting for the moment. Oh boy. Alejandra, if
Well-
you're missing the context as to what's going on, we basically made a thing to where they can't mention anything that hasn't happened yet. To other people. To other people outside of, himself and Ivan. Yeah.
Wait,
Because
what?
otherwise, you just can't understand them. It's just gibberish.
Yes. It's a literal censor bar.
What if we write it down?
Nope.
Oh no.
That doesn't work either.
You'll go to
It's
jail
just like a
tomorrow.
big black line.
No. No. For them,
Your
there is
hands
nothing
out.
there. For them,
Oh,
it appears to be nothing there.
god damn it. Arthas just sort of looks. Arthas sort of looks at her and says, "Damn, seems to still." Huh? What you said? You couldn't understand me.
No, I couldn't.
What language did it sound like?
I am not sure, but it seems like an ancient language.
Or Kindle, you could have it like how it is in ReZero, where if he tries to tell somebody, like, you know what I mean?
I do, but I don't want to do it that way. That seems a
Because
bit
penalizing. Is it
Yeah.
penalizing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, no, because I was thinking about that because I realized that if I were to do that way, then it would make it so unfair that the smallest
annoying.
of I would just have to be like, oh, punishment, you said something. Oh, punishment, you said something. It just makes it a little bit
Goes to
easier.
Horny jail.
Arthas just sort of looks at her. Well, let's just say I've met the Omni Knight before. Can't understand that, has she?
Nope.
God, Arthas just kind of sighs.
Omni Knight.
Arthas just said. Arthas just says, "I know of the Omni Knight."
All right. Well,
I
many
c-
people.
that's all I
do.
could say. Yes, but I can't say that either
We had a
without.
special connection.
Arthas just sort of smacks his head. Oh, this is annoying.
It seems as you're bound by something. Are you alright?
I saw Kyofu die.
Nothing.
Could you please stop speaking in strange tongues?
I don't. I'm speaking in common, but it seems to want to change whatever language I'm speaking. I'm speaking of events that has not happened yet.
I've read something about this before.
Mm.
So this is actually what it appears like.
Exactly.
It appears to be in the language of the Archegia then. That's why I am unable to understand it.
I'm sure he's not. We're not exactly on good terms.
She doesn't hear you say this.
God damn it! Arthas just says, "God damn it." This is getting annoying.
Just
For
say
being
Mino
for
like
being
the
a-
Omni Knight.
For being a cleric, isn't that...
A little bit odd, no?
She trails off after she says this. Just kind of waiting for a response from you.
What do you mean exactly?
It's to curse your god? Is that not...
He's not my god. Desna is.
Well, I know, but you said... Never mind.
Ooh, I'm writing down questions I have to ask later.
Arthas kind of looks at her. No, tell me what you heard.
No, you said... God damn it's... Which... You're cursing your god, right?
Oh, that's not what it. No, you. Arthas slowly puts his hands over his face. No, that's not at all what that.
I know what it means. It's just a little bit ironic, I suppose.
Does not give me strength. a comedian.
She smiles. There's a reason that I am more... I believe in gods. I am just a theist.
Well, they exist, if that's what you're asking.
Yes, I know. I am a theist. I don't believe in any particular god.
Well, I've met if I say that, I'm probably going to get censored again.
It's like, what the fuck did you say? I didn't even hear your sentence.
Arthas just says, let's just say they're out there.
I see. Anyhow,
I can't say more than that, I'm afraid.
I understand. And within the next
Stiff is just like taking a nap behind me,
Sif,
being like a giant
Sif is,
pillow.
Within
And
the
also,
next...
actually, you know, Sif can speak in the tongues of our own.
Truly.
You can't hear her, but I can.
So it's more telepathy.
Exactly.
Ah. How
She's not very
curious.
fond of you.
I figured as much.
She's very suspicious of outsiders. Arthas kind of like pets her.
Sif opens her eyes and it's like, yeah, bitch, I am.
God, I love Sif.
As you all progress in conversation, time turns into wakes as you begin to teach her how to maneuver and travel. She also begins to change her attire a little bit progressively. Instead of wearing so much formal garb whenever she travels, seems like she is more depending on the Nordic and Icelandic style of things. And she begins to wear a lot more different cloths to almost resonate that sort of feeling, and you can definitely seems that she's more comfortable in this element. And in exchange, she begins to tell you more about curses and matters of the soul and how to detect soul colors. So now
Arthas kind of stops when he mentions curses. You said you mentioned curses, right?
She nods.
I have something that might be of interest in you.
Oh?
Arthas hands her the scroll, the mysterious scroll.
You hand her the mysterious scroll. Is this? Wow. This is a whole list of...
I'm afraid I can't tell you where I got it. Otherwise, you know.
Oh, of course, I understand. You are really from somewhere strange. But I presume you cannot talk about it, so I will refrain from asking.
So,
However,
well...
I am interested in these. You wouldn't mind me trying to decipher these curses, would you?
I wouldn't mind. Curses aren't exactly my forte.
Well, of course, but curing them may be.
Exactly.
There's always a way to reverse a curse. And she then teaches you a couple of curse curing techniques. And these curses, the more you talk with her, as of course, it's been about a whole nother year. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
You really forget how long it freaking takes to travel on foot, or even by Sif to places. God, it's really nice to have freaking airplanes and cars and shit.
I know, right? You have to go by foot and just a slightly different travel in that regard. And then on top of that, you have environmental hazards, which may make things slower. And you're in the north section, so traveling upon snow may not be the easiest way of travel, and there just could be delay from really anything else, like monsters, for example. You guys actually had to fight a few and maybe camped out in the forest a few nights because of that. And when I mean a few, I mean more like probably around 18 to 25 nights at some point.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's probably about a tenth of yeah, basically an entire week you've probably spent camping throughout the entire...
Arthas doesn't really mind, though I'm sure she's like, bleh!
At first, yeah. She was like,
bleh. It's like, I slipped on a tree root. That's more comfortable than sleeping on a rock.
Yeah, she, after a while, you definitely can see that she's a little bit more toned after some time, and so you can see how things progress.
I'm not looking at her that way, okay? I have Era. No.
I know. I'm just saying. Of course, you know, you can see also with what weapons that she fights with. She fights with Navaja, which is like a Spanish folding sword.
Oh.
You can definitely see that her fighting style is more foreign to Scythia. And so it just kind of strikes you as
kind of looks at her fighting style.
Mm-hmm.
Your fighting style looks like it's you're some kind of noble from Marcel, not a Scythian blood.
Oh, I took up this weapon years ago. I had gone to Einport to learn of a couple of different styles and in trade of knowledge, and while I was there, as she folds the weapon back, kind of makes these clinking mechanism sounds within the weapon as it folds back, I picked up a few interesting combat tricks.
Is that so?
She
Show
nods.
me.
Show you how? Against a tree?
Arthas kind of smiles and takes out his mace. No, Arthas takes out his mace.
All right.
Of course not.
Go ahead and roll fortitude.
All right. Can I? Yeah, sure.
Oh! Oh! Yes! All right, so
Arthas is just like a freaking brick wall. God damn.
You are able to read almost every single strike, pierce, slash, hack at any different location, and you knock her off her feet within probably about 3 times to 4 times. And then she gets back up on the 4th attempt. She tries to go for one more slash, and you manage to grab her arm and kind of hold her in place for a moment.
Arthas smiles. You're going to need more than fancy tricks if you want to win against an opponent of equal standing. You rely too much on that weapon's unique tricks and not of your own strength. It will be on your undoing. Now, again.
All right. She then, after you actually start training her over the course of these few months in combat, she trains for probably about 5 to 6 weeks, so about half a year.
God damn.
Yeah.
Time is passing.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And she
God,
does
Arthas
get
is like
better.
33 now.
Well, no, this is, remember, 2 years before the start of campaign.
Oh, yeah. Wait, so is Arthas 30?
Yeah, he would be 31 at this point. And
Oh.
then you have the year before campaign starts. Because it took 7 to find...
Technically, he's older. He's actually a lot older than that.
Yeah, of course, but yeah.
That's how he's able to be, like, at level 3, still be able to... Because, yeah, that's pretty... For being 30 years old, that's pretty good with the weapon.
Oh, yeah.
And he's doing this with a mace. Mace is exactly a very elegant weapon.
So it took, like, about 7 weeks.
Also, goddamn, that's like the size of a sword. That's actually really badass.
Oh, the Nafaja? Yeah, it's really...
Yeah, it just looks like a freaking oversized pocket knife.
I know,
It's
right?
so weird.
It's
so
weird,
weird.
but I love it, dude.
Yeah.
The Spanish
Anyways.
folding sword was super cool. But anyway, she starts training a little bit more with you, and like remember that the first 7 weeks was just to find Sif. Then it was another 3 weeks after you found her with Ascandia. Then you had that entire following year of where she was like, hey, maybe we can exchange some stuff. And that is when you started training her for those 5 to 6 weeks. And then you kind of alternate between learning, fighting, and training her. She definitely seems much more potent with this weapon now, not just relying on its interesting tricks. It seems like she's using the better part of her feminine attributes and rotational force in swings. Also, she's working a lot more with precision now.
Yeah. Arthas just looks at her. You can't rely on your strength. You don't have that kind of strength. You have to rely on using your opponent's strength against yours. Your body isn't. You can't directly parry my strikes. They'll break your guard if you do that.
Right. All right.
I'm stronger than you. It's obvious.
Of course.
If you try to block one of my strikes with that little toothpick, it'll break your guard. You'll be in a world of pain.
She nods. She then tries to opt for much more of a faster fighting style in which she tries to just go for pokes and almost prying at your defense. And as she does so, she tries to get a couple flanks and poking everywhere that she can, but making decisive strikes when she finds an opening. Which you do notice a trend, which is actually more of a problem, is that she's non-committal in any of those strikes.
So she could have gone and finished me, but then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna try over here."
Yeah. She's non-committal because she feels like you're gonna read her, and then it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, when she does that, Arthas kind of turns and bashes her in the stomach with his shield.
She takes a kneel.
Arthas says, "I'm a harsh teacher." He says, "You know why? It's because you're becoming too easy to read. You always switch directions. So the second you switch your footing, I knew where to hit you. You left your guard down."
So then, what are you saying?
Commit. You could have broken my guard if you kept going. Unlike you, I do not have the same speed. This armor limits where I can swing. This mace is heavy, and so is this armor I wear. Use my lack of speed against me. I hit hard, but I do not hit fast.
Interesting.
An opponent will not tell you this. You will have to figure it out yourself. The first act of being able to beat your opponent is trying to figure out how they fight. You don't instantly go for the kill. That's foolish. Who knows what they may have up their sleeve?
Of course.
You first read them by testing the water. So now, test the water with me. Arthas throws another strike towards her.
As she does, she makes sure to instead step to the side, and after doing so, she kind of deflects the strike, and using that speed, she brings her folding blade closer towards a strike, and commits this time, strikes precisely directly in your chest.
Good hit. It won't be enough. Arthas like kind of like shoulder dashes towards her, and then he like he pile drives her into her with his shield,
As you
kind of
do that,
surprising her with a burst of speed.
she definitely gets surprised at this. You can see kind of her face look aghast as you knock her off your feet and landing in the snow.
You'll have to do better than that.
Of course, with time.
Arthas kind of looks at her and gives her a very slightly sadistic smile. You see where, and his his eyes are glowing blue, and so are his runes.
Mm-hmm.
We coldborn are not easy adversaries. We can break an orc's arm. We can dislocate an orc's arm with our bare hands.
That definitely seems more probable now that I've actually fought you.
Many of our tales about us are not over exaggerated. I've heard them. Maybe the parts about being half wolf, but that's a story for another time.
Of course, I would also be interested in learning more about that, but it seems as you've humbled me over the course of 4 weeks, and honestly, I respect that. You've changed my perspective once again. Congratulations.
Arthas looks at Sif.
Sif then looks with an approving, yeah, you're doing well. Still needs some work, but it's a process.
Sif thinks you have so long to go, but you're on the right track.
Good.
Sif rarely gives compliments.
Sif looks in agreement. I see. Well, in that case, I appreciate what you've done. It definitely has opened my eyes in more capacities than I could count. I am truly thankful for that.
Of course.
Anyhow.
You needed some humbling.
I suppose that I do, and it should help out my studies when teaching my underlings.
Exactly.
And would you actually mind sitting in on a few of our lectures every now and then? Sure you would appreciate them.
I wouldn't mind. Though Sif would probably...
Sif looks at you and says, I do not do well with people that I do not know talking, and especially considering that if they are any like-minded as she is, oh, they will have problems.
Let's just say it'd be better to let Sif go hunt during that time. Otherwise, she may get hungry and eat one of the students' hands.
I have actually a few students that are interested in more of the combat aspect. May have.
I wouldn't.
Well, keep them more separate. I know, but
exactly. And also, I would not have any student or novice go against a direwolf. Imagine. Here's what fighting a direwolf is like. Imagine the ferocity and strength of a bear combined with the swiftness of a tiger. That is a direwolf.
I see.
In other words, they have no weakness. They are perfect.
Nothing is truly perfect per se, but I understand what you mean.
As in, their flaws are not obvious.
Yes. She then thinks.
You'll have to study them for years to figure it out, and I'm not going to tell you.
Well, of course, I'd be able to figure it out by now if my intuition is good enough. As you also are taking more of a notice during the nighttime, her eye color changes instead of a green to... Hold on. I need to look at my document real quick. Her eyes change from more of a green to purple. But it's like a strange mix of purple with spots with kind of flows of yellow.
Your eye color changed.
Oh? Oh, this is partly why I don't like people seeing me at nighttime, but I was hoping that you wouldn't notice. I am an Omari of the original creed.
Remind me of what that is?
The Omari is a culture or people. They are more nocturnal, and their eye color when it's nighttime they change to their soul color. And if you remember, by what Escondi has taught you about soul colors, purple means intuitive and intelligent, but yellow, those dots of yellow, means cautious, and they may or may not have trust issues.
Arthas kind of looks at her. You still don't trust me, do you?
It's not that I particularly don't trust you, it's just I don't like people getting too close to me or knowing too much about me.
There's still much you haven't told about me.
I know.
Why do you hold back? Do you think I'm going to use it against you?
Yes. Perhaps. But it could be a collection of other things.
Such as?
She looks over to the distance and sees a tree. She takes out a knife and throws it perfectly where the knife nails into the tree. And she then says, much like that knife over there, you know the quickest way to a person's heart, and not only could use them as that weakness, but it can form tangible strings and perhaps weak ties that may be real but also could be fake. Mind games, if you will.
You seem to think everyone is out to get you.
It's not that I think everyone is out to get me, it's just I know that there is someone out there that is to get me, and I don't know who that is, and that lack of knowledge is what makes me cautious.
You're scared of things you don't understand, aren't you?
Yes, that is why I try to understand as much as I can. That is why I really value the training that you've done with me so far.
I can train your body, but I can't train your mind. That is something you must do yourself.
She nods to that statement. I know.
She then gives you a light smile on that night, and she then says,
please, do not tell anyone about what I just told you.
I don't intend to.
Intention is not the problem. It's... Have you ever heard of the road to hell is often paved with good intentions?
With good intentions, yes, I have. Of course I have. Arthas like points at his necklace.
Sif gives like an eye roll.
Sounds like you still need some humbling. Arthas reaches for his face.
Oh, no. It's just... She gives a smile, gives a toothful grin. She then says, no, that's not it. It's just, I'm scared is all.
Go ahead.
As much as I would say that I'm not scared of things, that is one thing that I am fearful of.
Are you going to tell me? That has become increasingly evident.
She looks away for a moment, but listening to you still.
If you fear what you don't understand, then why do you constantly seek out what you don't understand? Wouldn't it make more sense to simply avoid it at all costs?
No, that only delays the issue. It can come. It's something that I've learned in my childhood.
Arthas smiles. Good. You already realized that.
Yes, it's not. Why would I run from my issues when they would just come back and get me later? It's better to try to solve them.
I know somebody who could have learned from that.
Oh.
Alejandro, get called out. Get called out, Alejandro.
Get called out. Oh my god, why did you... That was... wow, okay.
Arthas sort of smiles. Arthas his smile kind of like melts away.
She looks...
Arthas shakes his head. He's gone now.
Oh, I am sorry.
It's nothing that I could have done or anyone could have done. Things just happened. It's part of the thing where I can't mention it. Yeah, it's part of that.
I understand. Don't force yourself to, please.
He was close to me, let's just say.
She nods. Not many it doesn't seem like many people would be close to you, and to mention that he would be in this case, it must mean he was really important.
He was. He was like a son to me.
I see. She then kind of takes a moment of solace, gives you a light pat on the back. Sif kind of arcs up at the sight of this, but then
So Arthas gives her a glare. Arthas kind of looks over to Sif.
She lays back down.
She's protective. Don't mind her.
Over the course of this time that we spent together, how could she not be?
She's been rather docile as of late. She's normally, if that was anyone else who does, she would done more than just simply stand up. You'd be on the ground, and she'd be tackling you.
But I think she is more excited to see you, right?
She is.
I would presume that she would let something like this go, but I don't know her mind, so I can't speak for her.
She's changed the last time since I've seen her. Let's just say we and her were separated for a while. We just now are reunited again.
That's good. I'm glad.
She has become more bitter in the wake of our departure from each other. It was a forced departure. It was not something I willingly made. If it was up to me, I would have taken her with me. But fate
I know
another.
that. For a kind of man that you are, I can see it. It's evident. If only... She kind of looks down.
If only what?
She stays silent.
Speak your mind.
Something about my past,
There's something else you regret leaving something else, don't you?
Not regret, if things were different...
Do not dwell on that. It'll pull you into a pit you cannot climb out of.
She looks up to you. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Arthas sighs. How old do you think I am?
Roughly in your 40s, 50s.
Arthas sighs. Do I look that old?
No, it's just your knowledge and wisdom points at you being a bit older.
72.
Ah, I see. Well, I am actually not much younger than you.
No. Well, my people are not quite human. Sif, I'm going to show her,
Sif then looks up with inquiring eyes.
Sif.
Why would you show her something like that?
She already knows. She knows of our people's history. It makes no difference. You know what we are, correct?
Somewhat. Partially. Not really.
What have you heard about us?
Well, as being Coldborn, I do know that you had quite a issue with orcs. I also know that you as a people are derived of some draconic tribe of some sort in your distant past, and as you've developed as a people, it seems like you've progressed forward.
And of our blood.
She shakes her head. Nothing of it.
Arthas, then, well, you know how I said that how you told me not to mention this or something? Mention all this you have told me so far to anybody? This is one of those things. Arthas transforms.
She then is aghast at your transformation. She just kind of sits in fear.
Arthas just sort of sits. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm in complete control. Unlike those tales you hear, we are in control.
Peculiar, but... She holds her head. It seems like her pain, something akin to a headache, was triggered by your transformation.
You're remembering something, aren't you?
Yes, something that I had hoped not to remember.
I'm sorry.
No, it is not your fault. Believe me. She shakes her head. But I see. She then looks over to Sif. I assume Sif also understands this. Sif nods her head in response.
She does. My people we were Lycans, in a way. A more greater Lycan, not the cursed ones. We were willing Lycans, a greater race than others.
I see. Of the lunar people, those
Exactly.
who worship the moon. I see.
Smart girl.
That's why that history is there. I never was able to tie that back to anything else, but that makes sense.
We do not write texts and books like many of your people do. Our history is passed by tongue.
I honestly respect that, as I tried myself to go with the Tameld tribe of scholars, but being
Arthas,
relations
though
is...
the problem is that many of our people were slaughtered and killed by Marcel.
She thinks.
It is a history that is not often talked about or written down because no one is alive to remember it. But our people remember. We used to be Southerners like you. We used to live in the green trees and hills of southern Scythia on the coastline. Land was bountiful, but then the marauders, the sea-bound marauders came, and they drove our people into the cold wastes of the north. They labeled us savages and monsters for what we were, what we could become.
She balls her fist. Again, I wish that could have gone so differently. I could have made a change.
What makes you say that?
I could have perhaps formed some sort of reformation. Some sort of... I don't know. Something that wouldn't have had your people have dealt with so many problems. I should have learned about that when I was in Marcel, but I didn't.
I wouldn't. The people of Marcel know little about us besides stories of monsters that are passed down from mothers to their children. We are like boogeymen to them.
But that is not at all what you are. She looks
No. We are defenders. We kill, we hunt. But we kill what needs to die, and we hunt what needs to be hunted. Such as the ruffians, berserker orcs, beasts, all kinds.
I see.
We would hunt it.
That makes sense. She then kind of looks away, but continue.
Very few know very few know of this history. You're one of the few outsiders to learn of this. Be grateful for that.
I am. Thank you. Why does this hurt so much?
What do you mean?
I just didn't realize that all of society is not as it seems.
It never was.
It could have been better.
Better?
Yes.
The city-states kept us where we are. They keep us in lands that are just inhospitable to any other race, but to us, our only friends have been in this history have been the dwarves. They have always, if it had not been for the dwarves, I fear our race would have been completely extinct.
She smiles.
Many like to think that dwarves are greedy and self-centered. They are not. They are the finest race of people you can come across besides my own. They care for people think they do not care for nature. They do. They care for nature in all of its glory. They do not worship it like elves and fear it. No, they respect it. but they do not. They do not place it on a pedestal like the elves do. I always respected them for that.
Of course, you do know that she is an elf of some kind.
Yeah. I do not mean any offense by that, but the elves seem to fear nature.
None taken. And that is exactly why I am very thankful that you were able to open my eyes in that regard. It was quite a great sight to see what the North could provide and its different beauties, the borealis that was in the sky, and the combinations of that and the awakenings.
Arthas transforms back.
It was beautiful. And she looks. She looks away.
I forget. I should have warned you.
Yes, that would have been nice.
She keeps
Sif.
her eyes away. Sif then just kind of glances.
Sif doesn't care.
But she gets up.
Sif. Go ahead. Sif actually, Arthas just says, Sif, you be a curtain.
Sif gets up, and her massive size tries to extend to longest length. It just kind of stands in between you and Escondia.
Says, you can look now. Arthas puts back on his clothes.
Mm-hmm. Sif then takes a few steps back and just lays back down.
Apologies. I'm used to being among my kin. Unlike most Southerners, we do not seem to look down at each other's.
Yes, I know. I just courtesy, I suppose, from my traditions.
Traditions is
relative. Yes, I know.
Yes.
It's just a difference.
It is a sign of trust in my culture, because you are most exposed and vulnerable to danger when you are in that state.
Yes, oh, believe me, I know. I have Esper friends. I hope they're doing all right.
This is actually really cool how this turned out.
I know. And this is when you learn of Master Scondia's first name. She then walks up to you and she says, "You don't need... No, only in private conversation may you call me by my actual name. My name is Lin, spelled here. I gotta get up, and then do that, and then do that."
That's a very Chinese name, but okay.
It is.
Ugh. Oh, that's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Lin Escondia.
That is not a Scythian name.
It is not a Scythian name. My parents were indeed from Einport, and my father was from Einport, and my mother was from Ryran.
No, that makes sense. The weapon, the way you talk. You're not even from Scythia. This is just where you've come to be.
Well, I was born here. She gives an awkward smile.
Arthas says, no, you were born here, yes, but you're not of Scythia. You do not follow its culture.
That is very right. I actually, to be more specific, I was born on the ship, on our way to Scythia. And so when we got to the western port, my mother and father had a few things to tend to that they had to bring me along with. And it was a very strange experience, and they finally decided to settle in western Scythia until I got of relative adult age, and I wanted to travel to Central.
That is odd. Most leave Scythia. Most men do not migrate to it. Your parents must have been desperate indeed.
Well, they're not necessarily desperate, but the fitting of elven culture is very strong in western Scythia. and therefore it made sense for them. I should go see my father soon.
He's still around.
My father is.
I'm sorry.
It is alright. She passed away, 15 years ago.
You know, it must be nice to have both your parents, at least one of your parents still.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
My
No.
apologies.
It is all right. It was natural, mostly. My father was a warrior in life and in death, but he still died of old age, which was very uncommon. As they say, always fear a man in a profession where the young die.
He made the most of his life, though.
He 200, I believe. He was 210, I believe he was.
That is likely everything that you would need in that regard. She smiles.
And my mother, well, she went missing in a blizzard and we couldn't find her. It's pretty obvious about what happened.
Are you sure that she's not still alive?
Trust me. We didn't. The snow probably. Even if she was. Arthur seems to think. He kind of looks at her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, always have hope in that regard. There might be
I'm
a day
not
that you
sure.
cross her, but you may not recognize her at first.
That is strange. I don't. Arthur kind of like thinks for a moment. I don't know what she would say about me now, considering everything that happened.
Well, firstly, she would give you a great hug, I would think, and love on you.
Yes, but Sif. Actually, wait. So who is Sif tracking? Please actually remind me.
Sif is tracking Fenrir, which is her mate.
Oh. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Fenrir.
yeah, Fenrir.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Oh, then never. I did read the stuff she said.
Yeah.
I thought she was talking about one of Arthas' siblings.
No. No.
Sif.
But Sif looks, yes.
We can try to go find Fenrir.
By myself?
No, I'll come with you. And also, this will be a test for her.
Sif stays quiet. But then says, it appears with this water crystal has an importance. Fenrir can wait.
You sure?
Though it takes a moment, Sif nods.
Alright. If you insist.
After all, I've been doing selfish acts. In your absence, might as well provide some sort.
What kind of selfish acts? Arthas kind of raises an eyebrow.
Nothing bad. It's just providing for myself and not looking after anything or anyone else that was around me.
You really have changed, Sif.
When you're not here, you do not understand how I feel, my mind, and how I think. The least of my problems is loneliness after that.
Suppose you have a point. I apologize for making you wait so long. It was wrong of me.
I accept your apology. I could never stay angry at you. She then ruffles into you for a cuddle.
Aw, cuddle.
And Skandia then says, I am very envious of the relationship that you have with Sif.
Unfortunately, Fortunately, elves do not possess the ability to be able to tame dire wolves.
I know.
But they can tame the caribou.
But don't.
Though I have a feeling that Sif would try to eat
Yes, that was what I was concerned about. As considering that you fed her a lot of caribou over our past travels these last few weeks.
Well, the
Almost
caribou herds are still going about. If it wasn't caribou, I'd feed her char. We'd have to go fishing. What did we, Sif? Arthur sort of like pats her head.
Sif, like, gingerly agrees. She is super happy to hear Char. That was actually the most of my diet.
Fat wolf. Arthur's guy pokes her side.
You could see like a little like fat there, and she.
Well, yeah,
like,
they're
Sif-
char.
yeah,
Char,
cheers,
freaking.
but
You ever
yeah.
seen a char?
Well, yes, I
Arthur
have
char?
seen
That's
it. Yeah,
huge. Fat fish.
Escandia kind of says, "Ah, I see. So there was a little bit of
She's been fattening up for the winter.
I see."
Clearly, fat wolf.
She takes a laughter. Of course, after a little bit more development between.
It's so weird. Arctic char looks a lot like salmon, actually.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. Even like the meat, it's orange.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, continue.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah, it's alright. So over the next couple weeks, obviously now you know how to distinguish soul colors within a person and to count how many souls are in that person as well. So that is just a passive skill that you have. Of course, it would be considered under your anytime you do a perception.
Arctic char
That's
are huge.
Huh?
Arctic char are huge.
Yes,
They'd
they
definitely
are.
be enough to sustain big giant Sif. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
Bro, would Sif be interested in seal?
Oh hell yeah, Sif. I mean, the only problem is though, Sif isn't exactly a polar bear.
Of course, but yeah.
I mean, if she could dig one up, yeah, she could. She could definitely dig one up and be like,
That sounds about right for Sif. But anyway, as Arthas, Lynn, and Yvonne begin to, and Sif begin to develop a lot more, obviously, Escondia holds one of her lectures outside, or a few of them outside, so that you can witness. You can see that when
Arthas is just like laying on, instead of a chair, he's just laying on Sif.
Some of the students, there's probably this is a relatively small college, at least with classes being kind of.
Oh yeah, I look completely out of place. This is like Arthas. It is like really Nordic.
There's
like Nordic as hell.
There's like 8 people per class, and so.
Oh jeez.
So she's some of the students kind of look over. They're more interested in Sif than being scared. But after a while, it's just like, oh, okay, we're just kind of cool with y'all now. You do learn about more, of course, with her being an Iration scholar, you are learning more about the divisions of magic, and you see a couple of instructions about these certain strange jewels or accessories known as the orbital accessories. You remember back in your previous world that Knave had one of these, and it seemed to match the description of a couple of them, and especially the one with Ulrak had.
Ew, Ulrak.
Yeah, it made you think of that. But yeah, she takes a few lectures on that and kind of describing their purpose in the world, describing their history.
God, it's like college again. I take notes.
There were a couple lectures just kind of predating the creation of Intraria and like Sansalay's Tears and stuff like that, and just kind of giving a couple demonstrations of, theatrical performances in Vautir of people, of some of the students reenacting the events to the best of their ability. Of course.
Reenacting?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's difficult, of course, but they tried to retain as many details as they could. So they do this over a course of a couple weeks, and yeah.
Arthas getting old.
Arthas at this point is now his current age in campaign. So you guys it's about the 15th. Well, no, it would be the 16th sun
in the wake of absence on 1186. And when you and Ivan had left the cathedral, the Dawned Cathedral, you guys wanted to go pay Ascandia a visit, you, Sif, and Ivan. And, yeah, that's where you convene with, the party.
Ooh. So imagine just if Vaughn was just awkward being like drunk.
Yeah, honestly, it'd probably be a little bit more, like, easier for you to be there at first, because if Ascandia, or specifically, well, let me go ahead and refer to her as Lynn.
Oh god, now Arthas is really gonna smack Bobbius for flirting with her.
If he finds out that he was flirting with her.
And be like, Brad, you don't flirt with the teacher, you weirdo.
Of course, you know, that's why she was describing you as handsome and just being an overall good person.
Oh.
Them.
Oh, wait, she's handsome because she saw stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
She actually, she did like it, but
okay, listen. She didn't want to.
It's Ascandia.
Yeah, it's Ascandia. Yeah, exactly.
It's that era.
Exactly. She's definitely reserved. Give me a moment.
Now a lot of things make sense.
Huh?
Now a lot of things make sense.
Yeah, huh? Definitely.
God, fucking Arctic chart, fucking huge. Imagine reeling those things in. God damn. They're all muscle.
Yeah, you require a lot of muscle, bro. You can't be skinny and go fishing. That's not how that works. But anyway, so that is kind of all I will do for now. But yeah, that gives you a lot of content to think over, because I'm gonna, because I've been recording this entire time, I will go ahead and save the session and I'll upload it to YouTube. Oh god, I forgot that the kids are watching.
Well, they can't watch it because...
Oh, right. Well, they can.
They don't. But Julian hasn't given them the wink.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. So I will let that be up to Julian's discretion.
Julian's not going to. Don't worry. He's not. I don't think they're going to.
Wait,
one of them made a comment on one of my videos, so I think they did.
Oh no. Well, yeah, to your regular channel, but not to the sessions.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Julian has brothers and sisters, more specifically, brother and a sister that are really keen on, how should I describe this? Social media. And they were interested in watching, my YouTube channel, and then from what Julian told me, it's like, oh, I'm a celebrity to them, and I'm like, what the hell? And so, yeah, I was just thinking to myself the entire time, like, that's kind of interesting, but okay. But anyhow, yeah, that's kind of what's going on, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, so, yeah, that was the session. Oh, yeah. Dude, now you have, that, previous stuff with a little bit more insight with Lynn. And, why she is the way she is.
You have to, oh god, well, how do you pronounce her last name? That's what she does. She uses.
Ascandia?
Ascandia. Yeah.
Ascandia.
That's a pretty name.
Yep, that's her last name. And you will refer to her as Ascandia or Master Ascandia, either one. But when you're
also, how
one-on-one
come Sif hasn't called Arthas Good Hunter yet?
I mean, I'll probably say that she would have.
0 out of 10 didn't call him that.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Worst impression.
Damn, I'm sorry, I forgot the detail.
But honestly, though, you did a pretty good job with Sif, and also how she would be all happy-go-lucky, when it's been for almost a couple decent amount of years.
It's been a decent amount of years. She's not gonna fucking what the fuck? If you saw someone that you've been searching for so long, and then they just show up out of random, and it's like, oh my god, I've been looking for you for so long.
Also, how old is Arthas right now?
So he would be his current age.
Yes.
Oh, 32 again.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, though.
Yeah, on Wednesday. Yeah.
I mean, Arthas.
Arthas. Oh yeah.
Arthas?
So yeah, now you have more information on Escondia
Yep.
about that, and you know.
And Arthas may not smack you if you flirt with Escondia.
I wasn't flirting. I was just saying milady.
He's just miladying, you know.
Yeah, bro.
There's a slight
sexual
difference.
harassment, not flirting. Come on.
Wait, what?
Come on.
What's
Excuse me,
worse?
it's what harassment? Do not say that
that's
around.
Worse?
Okay.
Never mind. Yeah, I was flirting.
That's worse. That's worse.
That's so much worse.
And
What
do
the
not
fuck?
say that around Juliet, or I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah,
That'd
make
be a
sure.
bit
Wait,
difficult
wait,
to
you
do
don't
that
even know where I
virtually.
live.
No, okay, so
You
here's
live
the
in
thing.
Dallas, you fuck.
Okay, Taylor,
no.
I will smack you. All right.
But no,
You don't know where we live,
I-
Hindle.
I don't need to know where you live. I could just ask your mom.
Oh no. Wow, why are you roasting us now? Talk.
Big brain. Anyway, but in all seriousness, so make sure to keep topics that are along the lines of pedophilia, child trauma.
Okay, that's an unspoken rule. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Still.
just saying. I gotta say it
Don't
now.
talk about sexual harassment around Julian. Don't do that.
Just don't do that. Like around her specifically.
I was just trolling.
I know. But I'm saying that sort of trolling when she's around is
Bad.
yeah, even if you're joking. So try to. That's what I'm saying. You want to avoid that.
Also, god damn it, look at fucking here, Ken.
Hmm.
Look at look.
I'm gonna take a guess to know where to look.
Just look at this. Look here, you'll see.
Oh my god.
They're so fucking
Holy
giant.
Shit.
Arthas are huge.
Good god, it is large.
God.
That's what.
That man's lips is fucking ridiculous, bro.
Wait,
Yes.
what race is Arthas?
Arthas is human, subhuman, but technically subhuman if you're just gonna be that simple.
So, alright, I don't.
Alejandro, are you present?
I am.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Jeez.
I heard
I've
this
been here
sound.
all the time.
Oh,
I wasn't
There's no
sure.
big dog.
But
Big
yeah,
dog.
so that's the little segue into how they meet first iteration. How did you like it?
Twas nice. Twas nice. I like that you actually made it past time. Was nice. Was nice.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like the passage of time. I like how you
Oh.
actually made it like passage of time kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't
Interesting.
expecting. Like, whenever I said 2 years last campaign, I was like, or not last campaign, last session, I was like, hold on, 2 years? How am I going to do this? Because I need some development in that amount of time for both characters. Let's
Jindal
see what
can't
we
do
can
math.
work with this. So I ended up doing something with Lynn and Arthas and Yvonne. So, hopefully,
Yes.
speaking of, hopefully when Sean gets back, I'll just kind of brief him in and just see, like, how his character interacts. Because I think, at first when Escondia is still, like, super elitist mentality and, like, her training with Arthas, it's gonna take a little bit of easing into because she's gonna get frustrated a lot, and so she'll kind of have Yvonne to be like that mediator, like, I don't understand him. And there's this,
He doesn't make sense. Stupid, simple-minded, cold-blooded.
yeah, exactly. And then Yvonne's just gonna be there to remind her that he's really not that bad as you make him out to be.
Or just be like, bruh, he's not exactly hates all orcs, considering I'm a half orc and he travels with me.
Imagine
Yeah.
being a half orc.
Imagine being a human.
Bruh, can't
imagine
relate.
existing. Holy shit.
Yeah, I like
Holy
how
shit,
I like how that orc would during Aerith's
Imagine having
flashback
a
thing.
soul.
That orc just like walked up to her like, "You're from the Medallion tribe." Arthas is just like, "Wait, what did you ask me?" It's a big, huge orc. It also mentions he lost brothers. Arthur's like, that's suspicious.
It is suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ayo moment.